Alrighty, let's go. Welcome to another Raw Real Reaction. Reacting to Moon Knight, episode 2. You know what I'm saying? They saved the best reactions for last. Just when they thought we was retired. Just when they thought we was out of here. Nah, man, we're back. We're live. What's going on, Masa? I see you in the chat. What up, what up, what up, what up? Got some major announcements about the future going forward as well, so you guys might want to stay tuned to the end. But yeah, man, we're finna react and talk some Moon Knight. But first and foremost, Miss M, how you doing?
Doing good after that episode.
Man, this has been one of the most consistent shows I think I've watched in a while. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I was kind of afraid before this episode came on. Like, the second episode was gonna. I thought the episode was gonna be like, all right, like, okay, you know, just like a filler episode or whatever. But nah, man, this episode is definitely like staying the course of the show, and I'm going off on a limb to say I'm really loving what I'm seeing so far.
Yeah.
You know, I really love what I'm seeing so far. I really like before we break the show down scene by scene. I really like the elements that the show has for it, because like they really do have, like, I don't want to say some scary moments, but there's like some scary moments and like funny moments, you know?
Right.
And I think that's really, really hard to pull off, like, in this day and age, because I feel like a lot of movies kind of have to be grouped into like one thing. Like, you can't be funny and like horror.
Yeah.
You know? Like, you can't be, you know, it's like, so I like the like genre blending that they're doing in this show, you know?
It's a really good balance. Like,
it really is. It really is.
There's times where you're laughing, and then there's times where you're like, damn, that was really dark.
Yeah, you're like, oh shit, it got real. Like, it got serious, like, real quick.
And it's crazy that it can go back and forth. That means it's a good show.
Yeah,
You know?
so far. I'm loving my guy Ethan Hawke so far, man.
Yeah?
Like, he's like...
Your favorite sleeper character so far?
He is, low-key, he really is. I know he's like the antagonist, but I really love me some Ethan Hawke right now. I've been watching your boy Ethan Hawke since Training Day, you know what I'm saying? So just to see him from there to this is like, man, he really does look like...
He's got some range.
He definitely has some range. And just seeing him throughout the years, his acting career has been like marvelous. You know, that's a good word for it. It's been
marvelous.
Yes,
I see what you did.
His acting career has been pretty marvelous. But I'm really digging the show and liking the show so far. What about you?
I think I can't think of his name. Oscar Isaac is my favorite character. I mean, just he's doing an amazing job portraying both roles. He's playing two roles essentially.
He really is, yeah.
I don't know. This show has just kept me so interested though the entire time. I was just telling you, like, this I think was my favorite. The first episode I think was my favorite first episode of any series, and so far this is like the one series that's kept me interested. Like, some of the other series there were slower moments. I think probably Falcon and Winter Soldier was the only one that like was full action and I was super into it the whole time. Yeah. Every other one there were some parts where I'd either fall asleep or just kind of get like, oh, okay, that's cool. Like, it had slower parts. This show feels no slow, or doesn't feel slow at all. Yeah. It's like one thing to the next, and you're interested the whole time, and I don't know. I love it. It's like a movie every week. Yeah. It's kind of nice.
This show definitely does a great job at keeping you guessing like the whole time.
That's for sure.
Like, for me, like, even watching the show, like, of course you don't know what's going on, but like, I really love what they did with the second episode. As far as like kind of catching you up, because for me, like, I didn't want this show to go too far on with we're confused as hell path, you know.
That's easy to lose people.
WandaVision kind of did that, but it was interesting, and I don't know if that many shows can like keep you like just, you know, like interested. But this show has done a really great job. Like, after the first episode, I was like, okay, I'm looking forward to next week. You know, it's a pretty cool show so far. But after the second episode, my hype got like even like more, like, just the level just increased to see the third episode, because it's like, man, it's like it's only the second episode and they already get into some stuff. Like, they like, you know, and I'm really curious to see like what's going on. Like, for me, like, the show, I will say this, right? The show isn't like just blowing my socks off, just like like crazy, but it's great. But it's great though. It's like really good though.
It's keeping your attention.
It's keeping my attention, and partly maybe because like this is an unfamiliar character for me.
Same.
You know, I really know about Moon Knight, so we're all learning and watching it together. You said something before the stream that was pretty interesting. You said you think this could have been like a movie?
I mean, I think it's the benefit of hindsight. Like, yes, we're watching it and I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing. I've never heard of Moon Knight before. Like, I didn't know about Moon Knight before this. So, yeah, I would have been excited to go to the theater, and I would have loved what they probably produced if it was anything like this. But I can see your point where you're saying nobody really, like, he's not one of the bigger characters. He's more of a darker character, not necessarily a family character.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're dealing with a lot of mental health aspects in this show.
Yeah. Also.
So yeah, I can totally see where Marvel's like, all right, let's test the waters, let's put it as a show, see how people like it, and then I mean, I wouldn't mind if they came out with a movie.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, this I don't know. It'd be interesting to see, like, because in this episode, and we'll get into it, but they talked about like who Khonshu would go to next if he wasn't with these guys with Mark. Yeah. So I'm like, does that leave it open for a movie, or does that? Like, that's a possibility now that we weren't aware of until this episode.
Yeah. I mean, I'm really already interested in just where they're going to go forward. Just, like, with everything. Like, we're taking the show, or, like, we're breaking the show down on a week-by-week basis. But, like, already I'm like, man, like, I'm already thinking ahead. I'm like, all right, so how does Moon Knight, like, cross over, like, with the other guys or whatever? You know? And I'm really loving this character arc so far. Like, I'm loving that... I'm kind of, honestly, this is really refreshing for me because I feel like this is one of the first Marvel shows that hasn't, like, referenced anything Avengers-wise or anything, like, anybody in the chat that's watched the show, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think they've made any, like, MCU reference at all.
Oh, no.
Like, as far as, like, anything.
Well, it's just interesting. So, like, in Eternals, I remember noticing that, like, people weren't surprised when the bus flipped over and she turned it into flower petals. Is that the same? Like, I mean, we'll talk about it later in the episode when they're just fighting the Jackal, but are people just, like... Well, I mean, I guess people couldn't see the Jackal. Okay, we'll get into it.
They couldn't see it.
Yeah, so but are people just used to a dude in a white suit with glowing eyes in the street? Yeah. They're like, oh, okay, new Avenger.
You can go ahead and play it right now. But it was interesting to me because, like, I had that same thought. And there was even a point in the scene, and we're getting ahead of ourselves, but where the Jackal was attacking like random people, and they were like falling on the ground.
I saw that.
So it's like, even if they're used to like stuff like that, like, you know, it's like I'm pretty sure they would kind of like if a guy in a suit just dancing and fighting around and throwing them off, an invisible fucking thing just throwing their ass probably definitely threw their ass off. So I think that's a good point. I think Marvel needs to come out with a show that shows like how the world reacts, or like what's like I think John Campia brought this up, like, is the world just numb to just like random stuff like this now? Like, is it like a thing? Because we know the world knows about Avengers and they know about the snap. So is it just like okay, you know, this is a normal kind of thing, monsters popping up, you know, just
I mean, I think ever since the first Invasion movie, the 2012 Avengers, I mean, I think ever since then people are just like, okay, like things are out there that exist that we didn't know about, and we'll just, now we accept it, like it just is now, because they, you know, an alien invasion's kind of, you know, big deal. Yeah. So I guess people are just more used to it now. It's interesting to see though. Yeah. The way they can introduce the new characters and how people are still engaging with them.
Yeah. And I gotta give Moon Knight his props. Like, Marvel has done a masterclass at introducing the character off the backs of nobody.
Right.
Like this is probably the first character I've seen in a minute that is not on the backs of anybody at all.
Yeah, like, that's true.
Even Eternals, like, they were kind of on, like, a lot of Avengers stuff was getting referenced. Yeah. You know, like,
they had to.
Like, but with this, he's like, I'm really loving that this is an original character and it's a great show and it's working. You know, like, I gotta give him props for that, man. I gotta give the director props, because this man really, like, this man is under, you know, the Kevin Feige, you know, MCU, like, whole roadmap or whatever. Mm-hmm. And so far, he's coming out and making a great show. And, like, you wouldn't even know that this is part of the MCU. Like, this is great. Yeah. That's why this show is really great. Like, you can watch this. Like, so far, you can watch this without, like, you know, having to watch anything else.
Yeah, you don't have to know anything about the past Avengers. You can literally just pick this up and be like, oh, this is a great standalone show on its own, which is good. I mean, a lot of shows, a lot of Marvel shows, I wish could do that. They have to connect, obviously. Yeah. It's just refreshing to see one that doesn't have to connect. Yeah. And John's with us, by the way.
John, what's up, my guy?
He says hello.
What up? How you feeling about Moon Knight episode 2, man? But yeah, this show, like, that's why I had to give it props before we even break the episode down. Just because, like you said, Oscar Isaac is doing a fantastic, phenomenal job. Loving him. And it's kind of interesting to me, man. My guy Oscar Isaac, he has to be in love with just comic books and just all fantasy stuff. Because first, this guy was in Star Wars.
Oh, true.
He was in X-Men as like one of the villains, Apocalypse. Don't watch that movie. It wasn't really good. He's an upcoming Spider-Man in Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Oh.
He's the blue and red Spider-Man or whatever.
Oh.
And now he's Moon Knight live action. So my guy's been really killing this comic book fantasy realm, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to Oscar Isaac, because my boy been putting in that work.
He really has. And I think if I'm not mistaken, I think he either directed or produced some of these episodes.
Really?
And he killed it.
Wow.
Some of these shots, like this shot of him walking up the stairs going into the museum after
Yeah.
his night with the jackal and all of that, that's just a cool shot. Like, it's up above and then it kind of comes underneath him, or not underneath, but it kind of comes behind him, and you feel like you're upside down. Like, some of the shots in this show, the way that the creativity that they did with it. I love the way the show is shot.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's my favorite show so far, I think.
Really?
I think so.
All right.
I've always loved Egyptian culture, so it had me there. And then just the acting, the shots, the story. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I have nothing really negative to say about this show so far. They're tying up loose ends. They're not making us, like, wonder, you know?
Yeah.
And I think, so the scene we're watching now is, like, the night after the museum, right?
Yeah.
And so it's interesting. This is the first time we get introduced to the fact that they don't, like, not everybody can see what he sees.
Yeah.
So I can definitely see the mental health aspect where people would think there's something wrong with him.
He's off the rails, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, that's why I said this show, like, is really doing, like, a really good job at, like, not just... It's not being a Hawkeye. I hate to bring it back to that, but, like, you can just tell, like, everything... And, like, nothing's perfect, right? You can always find, like, a loophole or something and just really nitpick. But this show is really, like, doing, like, really good. It just, like... I'm very impressed. Like... I'm not gonna lie. I think if they would have like used the MCU reference like in this show, I would have been trying to look for more connections. But just the story and just like everything that's going on, like you're so interested in what's going on. Like you want to know who Steven is. You want to know who Mark Spector is. You know, you want to figure out like the story with him. Mm-hmm. You know, so I think that's like the interesting thing he has going for it. Because this show isn't even about like just the action or anything like that. You know,
right?
Like yeah, the action is cool, but it's like this whole Egyptian. You know, like...
The story is what it's about. The action's
really,
second nature.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of MCU movies, like, action's the big part of it, you know? And because you expect it. But with this, it's more of a story that you're learning about and it's being told in front of you. And there's bits of action around it. Yeah. But the bits of action are amazing, you know?
Really, it really is, yeah.
Yeah. Ryback said, I've been watching the show. I love when he transformed into the character when the monster was trying to get him in the bathroom. That's the part I love. Prayer says hi. Remember me. And then John said, this man a sucker for love. He wants Mark's wife. I always count on John.
Sucker for love.
Yeah.
And technically it's his wife.
Technically.
I'm really curious to find out, like, did Khonshu and Mark, like, put... like, I'm really interested and curious to where, like, Steven came from. You know? Because if Mark knows all this stuff about Khonshu and the deal and stuff that they made, like, where does Steven personality come from? Like... Was Steven just a new personality made to like cover up like what he was really doing, you know? And he's like becoming like that's you know thoughts that I'm having like so far.
That's what I'm really curious of. Like who is the original?
Yeah. Because
we've been made to think Steven is, but it's like Mark has this whole other life.
Yeah. Wife.
Yeah, like mercenary, all of it. So it's like, and he obviously died taking care of, you know, the archaeologists. We find that out later in the episode, but. It's just interesting. I'm really curious to see how they're going to play that out. That's the only part that I worry about is if they didn't get the writing and the story right, it's going to be confusing or it's not going to make sense or whatever. Yeah. I'm hoping they can pull it off because it's been a good show so far, you know?
It really has. Shout out to Simba J. Garfield, crashing the set, my guy. Almost at 4K followers, man. Sponsored by Simba J. Garfield, man. We appreciate you. Go get Simba's new ebook on how to train your cat and take care of him like a king. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, they're doing really good so far. Doing really good. We're watching the scene right now where they're like watching over the footage of the surveillance tapes in the museum, and that scene to me was like just really like funny and interesting. You know, like him like just egging the guy on, like, look, watch this.
Yeah.
Look, this will happen.
Right here.
You know,
Wait for
like,
another angle.
You know, yeah. It's just funny and just to me like this show is like I really like the mental health aspect. You know,
yeah.
Of it, you know, like it's kind of like subtle, but it's like you kind of know like there's something going, and like Disney's trying to like touch in that area, you know, like because I feel like with every show Disney tries to touch like a real life, you know, like
that's true.
They try to touch with like some real life stuff that's like going on. Other than Hawkeye, I don't know what. Like,
there was no, yeah.
Christmas and chaos. That's all I got. From
That's
Hawkeye,
a theme. I like that.
Just a little bit of stuff in between, and let's hope it works. That was Hawkeye. But I'm really loving what I'm seeing so far. What character do you like the most out of Mark and Steven? Like which side do you prefer?
I like Steven just because he's the good person. He's got the
Really?
morals. Yeah. I mean, Mark's obviously like the cool guy, badass, whatever. And I think he has good intentions, I think, at some point. But Steven just like, he's like, I saw what you did to those people. I'm not going to let you take control. I'm not going to let you continue hurting people. Like, he cares. He genuinely cares. And it was an interesting scene when he's meeting Layla, or like talking to Layla and actually like getting to know her. And he's like, oh my God, we're married? Oh my God, he wants a divorce? I would never divorce you. Like, he just genuinely cares about people. He's just a good person with a good heart. And he got mixed up in all of this, you know?
Yeah.
But I like his character. I love who he is. I think he's goofy.
Yeah.
He's funny in the episode later. He's my favorite between the two just because of that. But we haven't seen Mark a whole lot.
Yeah, we don't really know too much.
Yeah.
I like how
I was gonna ask
the
you.
mime guy finally moved. Like, cause I ain't gonna lie, I thought this man was a statue. For like, he holds himself up really well, very well.
Right?
But to finally see this man turn his neck and move, I'm like, I knew it. I was like, I knew that guy was real.
Well, again, it lends to the mental health aspect. If people
Yeah.
are walking around seeing this guy talking to a statue, it's like, well, is it a damn statue?
Yeah.
Or is it real?
Yeah.
You know?
And it could be a statue, you know.
You don't know
And it's
until-
like, yeah, so we don't know that yet.
Right? It is pretty cool. I mean, I want to know, like, is this actually a friend? Is it literally just somebody who he doesn't know? And, you know, is it going to... I want to see it pay off.
Yeah.
I don't want it to just be something he randomly did.
Don't be like Lucky the Pizza Dog and just...
Yeah.
Just always showing up and then you just not like used properly at all. You know, like let this mean guy statue pay off, like somewhere along the line.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm hoping.
Me too. John said, did he have glass in his sandals while playing soccer with that girl? I think he's talking about Ethan Hawke.
He probably did. This man is a savage.
Right?
This man Ethan Hawke is a savage. I'm loving it. I'm really loving it. Cause he's really like a subtle villain. Like, he's not out, like, stabbing people, like, trying to, like, breaking people's necks or, like, shooting people.
Yeah.
He's, like, really, like, all calm and, like, it's okay. We're doing a good work. Give me your goddamn soul. But, yeah. It's just really, like, subtle as hell.
You know, for a second, or maybe a few seconds, in the episode, I actually sympathized with him.
Right?
I actually was like, you know, I could see his point. I could see where he thinks he's doing good for the world. Because it's like, oh, yeah, we would eliminate evil. But then it's like, you see Layla sees that one where he's just like, this man didn't get judged. He was just like, give me your soul. I'll take that, thanks. You know?
He's like, okay, the rule only applies for certain people, not all. We can't judge everybody. If we did that, we'd be here all day.
Right.
You know, so some people just gotta get their soul took.
Yeah.
You know,
it's like, sorry, sir.
Bigger purpose.
Yeah.
Bigger things going on.
Your contribution's appreciated.
That's funny.
Ryback says, I've been watching Moon Knight and I love it when he transformed with the ropes and the Egyptian stuff in the restroom when the thing was busting in the door to get him. So I was at the end of the first episode. Yeah, that was
the first episode, yeah. That was a pretty cool shot. We was talking about that on the last episode, how just that shot at the end was just like amazing. Like that was a good that was a good like shot. Just him beating up the jackal and like turning around and you see like Moon Knight from like that was pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. That was pretty cool.
Right.
I was gonna say another cool shot that we seen was when so actually before I get to the cool shot, do you think it's the reason why like he only sees the jackals?
It's in his head. I think all of this is going on in his head. but it's real. Does that make sense? I don't know. I don't know how to explain it otherwise. I mean, I don't know how it'll be interesting to see how they explain it, but it is a real jackal. And you don't know that until Layla like threw something on it and she can see the outline of it. But it's interesting. I do want to know why they're invisible, but still substance, you know, they still like there's the water or whatever she threw on him, like you could still see his outline. So it's interesting. I want to know how they're going to explain that. John said the scene with Steven running from Khonshu was crazy and it felt like a scary movie. Right?
It
like,
did.
That's this scene where they're in the, what do they call it? It's not his bunker, the storage locker.
Yeah, storage unit,
What did you think about that? Like, I mean, this is our first look into, like, I guess where Steven's been staying. No, Mark has been staying with the cot, and it's literally like a little military bunker.
It's a nice ass fucking apartment / storage unit, man. This man got the cot set up, got everything he need, got the lights and all this stuff. Like, I'm really starting to low-key wonder, like, how much of this... Because I've been seeing this concept a lot. Like, just storage units set up, and it's like a low-key little room and stuff in there. Like, I'm wondering, like, how much of this stuff actually happens. Like, I feel like it happens a lot. You know, people buy storage units, and they're just like, fuck it, lamp. You know, just... Like, and not in all storage units, but I definitely think there's some storage units out there where...
If you have to be, like, hidden, I guess. But it's in his name.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if that's public record. I would assume so. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's in his name, and it's like, I mean, those guys came for him later, but they weren't police. So I was gonna say if they're looking for him, but I don't know. I mean, is he technically? Yeah, he killed the archaeologist, so you would think they're looking for him. Yeah. He didn't just get a storage locker in his own name, so I don't know. That is true. So there's some little inconsistencies, little stuff right there.
Do you think Ethan Hawke sent the first jackal?
Do I think Ethan Hawke sent the first jackal? Yeah, because he was. Yeah, because he was in the museum with him. Remember, they had that conversation. So I definitely think.
They think he sent the first one after him.
Oh yeah, especially because he didn't know what it was. I'm curious. What do you think the scarab? The scarab leads him to Amit, right? It leads him to the tomb. I mean, what do you think is going to come of it? Like, is it just going to literally lead him there and then that's it? Or do you think it has a bigger purpose?
All right, I'm gonna tell the future of the show. You guys close your ears for a quick 30 seconds if you guys don't want Moon Knight, the whole series spoiled for you guys. But this is what's gonna happen, right? So Ethan Hawke's character, right? He's gonna get to Amit or whatever, right? And I think Amit's gonna finally like fully be released, right? Fully be released, cause like chaos and like havoc and all kinds of stuff. And we go see like a crazy form, like we go see like an alternate, like we go see like I was supposed to say sunlight, but we go see
moonlight.
Yeah, we go see the opposite of Moon Knight, and I just think it's gonna be like some like it's gonna look crazy. Yeah, it's gonna be whatever like the opposite of Moon Knight is. Cause like you can kind of see Ethan Hawke's, you can kind of see Ethan Hawke's character, like he don't respect Khonshu, you know. No. Like he doesn't like.
He thinks he's a lesser god.
Yeah, he's like belittling him and stuff. You know, he's like, oh yeah, he used to be my dude. You know, I moved on a bit. You know. Yeah. That's why he kind of like his demeanor is like kind of like, you know. Like, he's nobody.
A little high and mighty.
Like, yeah, he's like, I'm also the real God, you know. So just, you know, it's like that thing, you know. So I wonder, like, what I'm really, because there was a moment where he even told Steven, he's like, choke him, you know, like just take him
crush
out.
his windpipes.
Like, and I even wonder, like, can he do that? Like, we know that.
Can Khonshu?
Yeah, like we know Ethan Hawke, he has like the power or whatever, right? But like, even if the Moon Knight. Even if you went straight at like Ethan Hawke, I don't know. I don't know if it would be like so easy, you know.
To crush him. Well, what's her name would probably protect him, Amit.
Yeah.
Because that's what Khonshu told him. He was like, you know, I'll do anything to protect you, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I would assume it's the same type of like relationship with this one. Can I just say how much I love all of the reflection shots? Like I love
beautiful.
Yes, the shots in this in the show are just so well done.
Yeah, for real. They really do look really good. Like I just love seeing him talk to himself.
I don't care how bloody handsome you are. Like it's little lines like that just you know make him a great character.
They go a long way. Yeah. Like I love that this episode it did not wait too long to explain something before like introducing something new. So like I feel like honestly, like if you watch the first 2 episodes, you're really caught up.
Yeah.
Like honestly, there's stuff that I'm wondering, but it's like I kind of like I know I have to wait. I know that I'm gonna get the answer next episode, right? Mm-hmm. For this show, it's like really answering stuff like really fast, and I love that. I hate when shows like introduce something, they don't answer it, introduce something else, don't answer it, introduce something new, and it's like, bruh, like can you answer the first thing that y'all like referenced, or is it gonna get referenced within these 6 episodes? But everything like so far has like been like lining up like, you know, with everything, and look at the irony. Like everything has been just lined up with everything, and I'm loving what I'm seeing so far.
They tie a lot of things back, even to the point where he was like, oh my god, I eat one steak and my mind goes bonkers. I mean, that's tying back to the first episode when, you know, he stands that girl up, not purposely, but and he eats the steak. I didn't even think. I'm like, oh yeah, you were a vegetarian. You ordered a steak. Yeah. Like just little things like that they're actually paying off and talking about later on in the episode. Yeah. I love that they're doing that. They're paying attention, you know? Ryback said, so what does this Marvel series remind y'all of compared to the others?
None, honestly.
Yeah, it's its own, like, brand new show.
Yeah, like, what was his name? Oscar Isaac was saying that, you know, he always loved, like, Iron Man's interest, like, to the MCU. And he was comparing his, like, role to, like, something like, kind of, like, in the range of that. Like, saying, like, this is a character that you haven't seen. You know, we're really seeing his origin story. Like, we're really... So, it's like, for me, this is, like... I haven't seen nothing like this, you know? This is, like, a first. And I'm, like... I'm glad, because it's, like... The storytelling on this is just, like... It's A1. You know, like... Just like how you said, like, him talking to himself in the reflections, you know? And, like... I can't even imagine how this was shot, you know?
Right?
Like, just, like, how beautiful... Like, we take a lot of this stuff for granted. Like, just because we see, like, the finished product. But, like, for an actor to, like, act against himself and, like, get the right, like, you gotta commend the actors, the directors, everybody that put, like, stuff like this together.
100%. And I think Disney does, like, a whole, like, behind-the-scenes little series. I would love to see this one. The other ones, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like, shows how it's made. This one, I'm like, I want to see how he got into the character. I want to see how he was acting, you know? It's just such a compelling show. It's just they've done such a good job, and like John was saying, like the whole scene where he's, you know, in the storage unit and Khonshu's coming his way, it's just scary. You know, I love scary movies, and this isn't like horror necessarily. Like Khonshu's not scary anymore. I think he was scarier in the first episode with the elevator. But it's just that scene of not knowing, like he's there and then he disappears, and then it speeds up and he's right there, right in front of him, and he's just kind of chasing him, like. It's fear, because obviously Khonshu can't really do anything to him. He would have already. Yeah. So it's just the fear aspect of it. It's just we as humans, we're like, oh shit, we're being chased, and it's this dark figure and he's huge, you know. But when you stop and think about it.
Yeah, because anybody in his position would be doing the same thing, just be running and just like scared as hell and just like what the hell is going on. And we get like an explanation, kind of sort of when he's sitting down with Ethan Hawke saying like, oh, is that Khonshu talking to you? He ain't gonna do nothing.
That was cool.
Know? Yeah, he's like, let me know. What are you saying right now?
Yeah.
He can't touch you, so you good. Like, just like that whole like explainer, and just, you know, like that was, I think that was a really like cool scene. Just like kind of giving us some clarity, you know, just like, you know, why has he always been popping up and ain't just grabbing me, you know? Yeah. Like it answered that, like, right, like that was a really clever way of like just answering like all the questions we wanted to know, like, about Khonshu.
I love that whole scene where he sits down, has the lentil soup with him and all of that. And
he seemed like a good dude.
Right? They broke bread together.
He's like, I want to help you. Come here. Yeah. It's our community.
Come here. Come talk to me.
You know, the kids playing soccer.
Yeah, that guy has tomatoes.
Girl! Those tomatoes growing, man.
Look at you with that green thumb.
Man, like, kudos, Marvel. Like, I feel like they're definitely reading through the Twitter comments and looking at all the fans saying like we're tired of one-dimensional villains and stuff like that. Cause like if you listen to Ethan Hawke, you like he's got a point, you know. He's
100%.
He's kind of got that Thanos thing going for him, where it's like, like okay, bro, you got a point, but you're going a little extreme, you know, to prove your point, you know, and you.
Well, and that's what I loved about Steven's character, you know, saying, well, what if a child, you know, in 30 years does something? Like, do you kill him then? Like, how does that work? I'm not cool with that. Like, his moral, like, compass is just so strong and so good. Like, he's such a good person. Like, it's the best person I think Khonshu could have chosen. I don't know how him and Steven get mixed up. That's the part where I'm like, all right, you guys need to answer that for me because I want to know. Because Steven doesn't seem like he was a bad person. He just got mixed up in the wrong crowd or something. But I can't wait for that episode when that whole part is explained. John said, what if Egyptian gods and those who are chosen can see them? Oh.
That might be the thing. Honestly, that might be the thing.
That would make sense.
Yeah. That might be the thing, cause I'm feeling like only Ethan Hawke's character and Oscar Isaac, they're the only ones that could probably see the jackals right now.
Well, and technically, Mark, the mercenary, right? He's the avatar for Khonshu. In just the way I understand it now, Steven's his own person, so Steven can see Mark in the reflections and stuff. But like in the scene where Layla's looking at the fish and then you see Mark's reflection towards Steven from the fish tank, he's like talking to Steven plain as day and she can't hear him. She can't see him. So that's why I was thinking, okay, it's in his head, that's why. But John brings up a good point. What if it's, you know, the chosen ones, the gods, you know, they're the only ones that can see it. Yeah. And technically, you know, Khonshu is controlling both Mark and Steven, kind of. So that makes a whole lot of sense now.
That's a great theory. That's a great theory. Good stuff. I want to say this before we move on. What's his name? Ethan Hawke's character. We're gonna get his name, but we just know and love him as Ethan Hawke.
Amit's boy. I don't know.
Amit's boy.
I don't remember his name.
He low key reminds me of the TVA in a way, like how you judge. Like he's pretty much judging people before they do something, and the TVA was the same way. Like they would pretty much, like they were the time police.
Yeah.
You know, and like just like what was her name? Sylvie.
Oh yeah, Sylvie.
Sylvie didn't even get a chance to do anything.
She was a kid.
Yeah, and she was a kid, and they already was like, nope.
They better pay that off in season 2, by the way. I want to know what she was gonna do. Yeah. What was her plan?
Yeah.
Why did you prune her?
Yeah. I mean, they probably combine it all with the Kang stuff, you know. This show has been so good that I haven't been like worried about the MCU at all.
Isn't that kind of nice?
That's how great this show is. Like, I'm not even worrying about the MCU at all. I'm just watching like the show and just like loving the show for what it is. Like, you know, we got Doctor Strange coming out next month. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna be like rare for me to say because I'm all about like continuity and just everything connecting and like you know where we at. But honestly, they wouldn't even have to reference no MCU character in this show so far, and like I don't think I would be mad.
I'm fine with it.
Like I wouldn't. Like if they want to do a post credit at the end saying where he might show up next. All right, you got to give us a post credit, Marvel. Like where he's gonna head. Like tell us he's gonna be in a new Blade or something. Like just say something. You don't even got to show no scene. Just say Moon Knight will return and Blade. You know, just say something like that.
It's funny that you say that. John says, I bet Doctor Strange could help fight something like this.
I don't know. Doctor Strange, he got enough on his hands already, man. I think our boy Strange is
that poor man.
Whew. We're a month away from that, so that's definitely gonna be pretty interesting.
So exciting.
Yeah.
As we were rewatching this scene where Layla comes to his flat and like they're kind of getting to know each other, and you know they both recite poems in French, and she's like, "This is my favorite poet," and she's like, she understands the hieroglyphs and all that. Do you think, and this is just like an early theory, but do you think Mark Spector kind of had like a dual personality disorder come up, and then Steven's born, and out of that personality, he loves all of the things that he loved about Layla. You know, he may not have been loved the same poet. He may not have been into the Egyptian and the hieroglyphs and all of that, but Steven is. So what if that's that side of him that's like, you know, like he loved Layla so much that those qualities he put into the Steven character. Yeah. Because it doesn't, like, I mean, she's like, you know, you want a divorce, just sign the papers, but you hear Mark in the reflections like, you don't understand, that's not what I wanted, blah, 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 blah. Like, I'm trying to protect her. I'm doing this to protect her. Yeah. And so I think there's a different side of it. Obviously, she doesn't understand that just yet, but it's interesting to see that they had so many of the things in common where they were both reciting that French poem, and she's like, oh yeah, these are hieroglyphs, you know, you have to understand blah, blah, blah to read them. I just love that aspect of it. I hope that part pays off later too. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, definitely got to pay that off. And I'm loving her character so far as well. You know, like, yeah, we don't know much about her. She was kicking ass at the.
Yes, she was.
I was like, God damn. I was like, woo, shit. I was like, you go, girl.
Breakthrough
like,
character. I like her.
Like, you got a god inside of you or something? Like, what's going on? Because it's like work.
How nice is it to have like a smart character? Not necessarily in the MCU, but like she's smart. She can kick ass. Like,
yeah.
She's a great female character. She's like Sylvie. You know?
Yeah, she's like Sylvie.
I think they're doing a great job at bringing in these kind of characters.
She's more Sylvie, less, Kate Bishop.
Yes, thank you. Yes, ain't that the truth?
Kate Bishop.
Oh, Kate.
That's funny.
Kate.
Yeah, I'm really liking what I'm seeing from her so far. I like off the jump, I love the chemistry that they had.
Right.
To me, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, like, I get tired of, like, super lovey-dovey, stories between, like, characters and, like, heroes trying to, like, to me, I feel like that's getting old, right? But the way they, like, introduced this, I love their dynamic, like, so far already, like, from the jump.
Well, you can tell he's actually like, oh my God, I would never divorce you. Like, you're so fascinated and you're so, like, he likes her immediately. And then he's like, oh, okay, like, I have to protect her. Like, that's why you have Mark in his head saying, like, do not tell her, don't let her see it because you will get her killed.
Yeah.
Like, the dynamic between the two of them, because now he understands that technically she's Mark's wife, but he has, like, this compassion for her and this, like, empathy of, like, wow, why would he divorce you? Like, like, I really like you. Like, I want to protect you. Like, he's just into her right away. I mean, it's a different way because technically this is them meeting for the first time, So it's I don't know. I really like the way that they're developing the characters. Yeah. For sure. John said this man's really trying to resurrect Crocodile Lady. And Strange really went to a multiverse jail. It's like a multiverse nightmare. God.
Yeah. One thing I'm noticing, and I'm glad you brought that up, John, but we've been seeing a lot of trailers, right?
For Strange? Multiverse?
Just in general. Uh-huh. Like, let's just stick with Marvel-related trailers, whether it's like Morbius, Moon Knight, or Doctor Strange, right? Uh-huh. So we seen Morbius, what was it, last week? It wasn't that bad. We wanna say that. We're probably not gonna do a reaction to it, but it wasn't that bad. But we noticed that some of the scenes that were in the trailers were modified.
Very modified.
Like, when you watch the movie, And even with Moon Knight, like, we seen like a few scenes of certain things, but then when you see the show, you see like the full like version or whatever, because like we seen him suit up as Moon Knight, we seen him grab stuff out the air,
even jumping the buildings. We saw that. Mm-hmm.
But when you watch the like real show, you see like something that was in the background that you didn't see before and stuff like that. So, John, if you're watching this and all the viewers in the chat watching this, like, don't believe a goddamn thing that Marvel was putting in the trailer for Multiverse of Madness. I'm going out and saying it right now. Fool me once, twice. Not 3 times, Marvel. Like, I think they are literally like showing us stuff in the trailer that's probably not gonna be in the movie. I'm not gonna say majority of stuff in the trailer is not gonna be in the movie, but they're trying to throw us off because they've done a really great job at throwing us off so far. Yeah, they really have. So be careful what you look at and don't fall in love with something, because a lot of Spider-Man fans are pissed at Morbius, and it really wasn't even that bad of a movie,
It wasn't.
So.
John's like, I heard about Morbius with the throw up emoji.
It wasn't that bad.
It really wasn't.
I never thought I'd be up here on the stream defending Morbius. It was not that bad. Like,
you had to sit and watch one again, Hawkeye or Morbius?
Morbius.
Me too.
I would any day. You cannot pay me a gajillion bazillion dollars to sit and watch Hawkeye with a smile on my face.
Oh, you don't want to do a Christmas tradition?
Oh, hell no. No.
Not that one.
The Grinch need to come down and burn that series, show, whatever, and steal it and never give it to anybody again.
Right.
Marvel, I can't believe they did that to us, but they gave us Moon Knight, so
they had to make up for it. They did.
I thought the police in the episode were sus as hell. Like,
yeah, they didn't really care.
Sus. Like, they just like, oh, come with us, we're searching their,
They ain't cops.
Yeah, and I thought they was low key like some jackals or something. Like, I thought they weren't human. And honestly, I think honestly I've been really like looking forward to like a scroll like just popping up, but we already got a scroll popped up in WandaVision. Right. That's why I've really been interested about Secret Invasion, because I want to like, we got Samuel L. Jackson in the show. We get week to week Samuel L. Jackson, but we're not talking about that. But I've been waiting to see like just some scrolls pop up and just like
somewhere, yeah.
Yeah, just like this dude was a scroll and you didn't even know the whole time, or just something, like, because I feel like Marvel's really gonna do like a great job at that, like throwing like with that show, that I feel like they're really gonna throw us off guard with like a lot of shit.
It's gonna be interesting to see. Yeah. I am looking forward to that one too.
But as much as I love this show,
it's 9 o'clock.
The one thing, thank you, Alfred. The one thing that it has going for it, I think could potentially, be the downfall as well. Just the entrance of too many MCU projects. Like we currently, so in the Marvel universe right now, like everybody's excited about like Moon Knight, and Marvel has spoiled us like so much up until this point to where like, yeah, people care about Doctor Strange coming out in a month. Yeah, people care that we got Moon Knight week to week. But now you got people screaming about the Thor trailer. You got people online going crazy like, where's the Thor trailer? Where's the trailer? And it's like, look, we got a great show in Moon Knight, and we got Doctor Strange coming out in a month. So, Marvel has really spoiled us, with all these good stuff. But it's like, I really hope it doesn't get to a like place where they try to like please and satisfy everybody. Right. Especially like where we are right now, because you know how I feel about the current timeline and where we at with things, So I just really hope Marvel, like, you guys are, making sure everything's like good to go, because there's a lot of stuff coming out.
Yeah, if they overwhelm us, I mean, that's like, it's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of different stories in the air right now that we're already overwhelmed with. So just throwing in more, it's like, why would you throw what can I think of his name? Oh my God, Thor.
Thor,
yeah. Why would you throw a Thor trailer? Say that 5 times fast.
Yeah.
Right now, you have a great show. You have, Morbius is out, but whatever. You have a great show. Like, ride that out.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange is coming soon. John said they fumbled Hawkeye, and it's like they cut the budget halfway in Hawkeye and used it for Moon Knight. We were just talking about that, John. Actually, that's how you know Moon Knight was going to be a good show. They had all of these commercials and stuff talking about the critics saying it's stunning, it's amazing, best Marvel show.
Yeah.
I didn't see any critics say anything about Hawkeye. And we didn't see any freaking like commercials or marketing for it. Not much. Very, very little.
One of our favorite YouTubers, John Campia, man. This guy literally watched the first episode of Hawkeye, and that was a classic stream. He was like, guys, I think I'm done. Like, I don't want to watch
one
this.
show?
Yeah, he was like, I don't want to watch this anymore.
I fell asleep after the first one. Like, that should not happen.
Yeah, it got to the point where we're reacting on a day later. That's how bad Hawkeye was. So, but I mean, you guys are here rocking with us, so hey, it all works.
Right.
One thing that I did want to point out before I forgot. So, speaking of Hawkeye, and I'm not trying to put Hawkeye vibes on a new show, but I'm hearing Disney's next show, Miss Marvel.
Uh-oh.
Or, I think it's Miss Marvel, right? Yeah.
I think so.
It's going to be a show catered to the kids. Therefore, I think they gave it like a PG rating. Like, so it's definitely, it might, like, I think we're used to this Moon Knight and Falcon and Winter Soldier and WandaVision type stuff. This may be looking like a show where it's probably gonna like have, I would say, Marvel's older audience, like, we don't get it, So I do wanna, like, if a lot of people haven't heard, I do wanna, like, throw that out there. Don't watch Miss Marvel and be like, I don't get it, it's not for me.
Give it a chance.
Yeah, so.
Yeah,
I'm gonna try not to go too hard on Miss Marvel, knowing what I know now.
Going into it.
Because we even seen the trailer and we was like,
meh.
Okay.
That's cool.
So pray for us.
Right. It was like at the end of Eternals when Thanos' brother comes out and everybody's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And like, okay, that's cool.
Like, who are you, bro?
Freaking Harry Styles.
Yeah.
Troy said, "Is the What If show a good show to watch?" We reacted to all of them.
Yeah,
so go back
I would
and watch
definitely,
them.
I would definitely go back and watch it and go watch our reaction videos about it. I would say it's a good show. Looking back, I would say watch it all in one like order. Don't like just watch the whole thing in order. Because I definitely would say you probably would enjoy it more if you watch the whole thing in order versus week to week. That's just me. Because for us, we only found maybe 3 out of all episodes like really good, and the other episodes are like, eh.
Yeah.
You know? So that's what I would do.
So now we're on the scene where we were talking about earlier, the lentil soup, and I just love the way that Ethan Hawke is just, describing Khonshu the whole time. It's like a 2-year-old that throws tantrums, and what's he saying to you now? And, all these different, like, this whole scene is just so cool.
Yeah.
Like, from the building that they're in to just the concept of, like, the food's free. That was his recipe. I just made it, this morning. It's just... I don't know. This is just such a great... This is probably my favorite scene of the whole show that's not action, because obviously the action scenes were amazing. But just the commentate, like the writing of the show is so good, and, the two of them together, I just think have a really good dynamic.
Yeah, the whole conversation for me was like my favorite scene, because you level with Ethan Hawke. He's like, all right, this guy's not this bad. He just took a few souls the few past episodes.
Yeah,
but,
they were gonna do some bad anyway, so all right.
He seems like he's got a good person. He's purpose. He's like leading the people. But then he just went to like, all right, where's the scarab?
Yeah,
yeah,
my shit.
He's like, welcome you in the home, fed you. Now where's the scarab?
Yep. Pay up.
But like, I really like him. Like, unfortunately, we have to like compare good villains to bad villains.
Yeah.
But like Swordsman, whatever the hell his name was.
Oh God.
Horrible character development.
He wasn't a bad guy, was he?
But that was horrible. Even the mom,
100%.
even Kate's mom, that was horrible character development.
I'm so glad you said that, because this is like, I think, what you were expecting of using a Hollywood star in a show.
Yes.
You wanted that from Vera Farmiga.
Yes.
And you didn't get it. And then now Ethan Hawke's over here just killing it.
They're using the hell out of Ethan. Use these two star-studded characters, man.
Yes.
They are using them. I love it. I'm loving what I'm seeing so far from these actors.
Seriously. John says it seems like Khonshu's losing patience with Mark. I agree.
Yeah, I think it feels like he's losing patience with Mark, because he's already told him, like, all right, I got my next, body. So, like...
Yeah.
And, I feel like Mark is in an interesting position, because he's like... He probably feels like he had to do it for them to survive, and we're going to see that later. But he cares about Layla, too. And he's probably realizing, like, damn, Khonshu, like, you just using me for this body to do your mission, Yeah. Because it seems like Khonshu's already got what he wants. And, like, he's just trying to use Mark to continue, whatever the deal was. Because, like, Khonshu is not like, do this, please. He's like, look, bro, you do this or not. Your girl's my next body. So it's like, You can tell Mark definitely feels some type of way about that, Just about everything that's happened. And honestly, that's why like I've come to like Mark more as a character, because like I feel like he knows a lot. He's the one that actually is like going through a lot of stuff, and even him like trying to get Steven to understand. That's probably so we're skipping ahead, right? So at the end of the episode where he's just drinking, just sitting, and he's like Steven, you stand. Like you could tell he's a man that's like yeah, he's a mercenary, but he has feelings.
100%.
Mercenaries have feelings too, guys.
Oh, yeah. An early prediction, and I don't know how it would play out, but I think because Mark cares so much, I can see something like Mark making a deal with Khonshu, like, keep me. You can be I can be your avatar forever, but let Steven go. Let him be with Layla. Let them like have a life, type of thing. That's how much I care, type of thing. That I don't know how that would work out, but I could see that happening.
So you think one personality is gonna stay dormant while the other one is?
I don't know. It depends on how it works. Are they two separate people, or is one real and the other one is in his mind and somehow get rid of him? Okay. I don't know. It'd be interesting. It depends on how they play that out. So that's why I don't know. John said, "Y'all don't like Captain Marvel now. Y'all don't like Miss Marvel." Yeah, I don't know.
Here's my thing. We were just talking about this before the show. Like, Captain Marvel should have been the first Disney Plus show. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
They could have saved the movie. Like, the movie was okay. It was alright. But just the timing of her movie was like, meh.
And it wasn't COVID.
Like, we already seen Infinity War with all the Avengers together losing and getting their ass kicked against Thanos.
Yeah.
And the next movie we see another Avenger, the first Avenger, You know, like, girl, you out of place. We should have seen you before this.
Yes.
You know, and I understand how the story went. Like, she's out in space protecting all these other worlds and stuff. But it's like, I just think she's like, first of all, she's super OP, right? She can do everything. You know, we even seen it in the What Ifs. Like, she was going head to head with Thor. Like, powerful as hell.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, you a super powerful character, you know, just showing up at the right time, you know, after everybody done got their ass kicked and snapped by Thanos.
Could have used you.
Yeah, and it's like, for like, there's only so much of the story that they can cover for her to make an impact. So that's why, like, we were debating earlier, like, why I think Moon Knight was a great to have 6 episodes for us to, like, know and love the character over a 6-week period, versus where I think they kind of messed up with Captain Marvel, just introducing us to this new character right after, like, Infinity War. Like,
right.
We, like, at that time, we wanted to know, like, like, everybody got snapped. Like, what the hell is going on? We don't care about a new character coming in MCU. So I just think the timing was off for Captain Marvel. And, like, ever since, her ass is never around. Let's just keep it real. Like, at least show us some scenes of what she's doing, you know? I understand we probably can't show her scenes in, like, all the shows, but, you know, she just never there. She don't care about Earth. You know, she's like, man, y'all got it. I gotta do this other stuff. So it's like, I don't know. Captain Marvel, I'm hoping it gets better. I think it will. Miss Marvel, we're gonna see what it's looking like, and then I don't even know when the Marvels comes out, but hopefully it's a good movie. Honestly,
I hope so.
Because, you know, I really love Brie Larson as a actor.
Yeah.
But her Captain Marvel is probably, you know, one of the most disliked characters in the MCU.
I know,
Yeah,
and I wish it wasn't like that, because I do love Brie Larson.
Yeah.
John said he's interested in how Miss Marvel got her powers. Yeah, that's it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's gonna be interesting to see that.
is.
You know. He also said, I wonder how Khonshu gets in his bodies, because if he wants Layla, why he ain't just take it? Maybe he needs permission from the host. I think they have to
so.
die, right?
Yeah.
In order to resurrect them and, like, enter their body. I think is how
because he said he made a deal. They made a deal.
Yes.
So I don't think Khonshu can just take over people. I think it has to be like they keep saying that he died, or he was about to die, or he was at his dying moment. So I think it has to be like something like that, where he has to agree. Like they've been referencing that so far. So I don't think it's just as easy.
Yeah.
So.
I agree. John said, what if our new Captain Marvel is Monica Rambeau? I think it's supposed to be, isn't it? And if it is, I'd be happy with that. I loved her in WandaVision.
Yeah. I guess I'm just curious to what the hell they gonna do with all these Marvels and even Monica Rambeau. Like,
well,
I don't know.
there's a little bit of history there. I can see where that might actually be a good dynamic, because Monica Rambeau's mom flew with Captain Marvel. It's just on the same day. And I remember her mom got snapped, right? Or no, she got snapped and her mom passed away from, like, cancer or something while she was snapped.
Yeah.
But there's, like, this tension.
There's a weird beef going on.
Yeah, so I want to know, is Monica, like, mad that she didn't, you know, her mom didn't get the Miss Marvel powers and Brie Larson did? I don't know. That aspect of the story is really interesting to me. So I'm hoping it'll add to Brie Larson's character and actually make her just more likable, I guess, for the MCU fans.
Yeah. I don't know.
Troy asked again, what if the What If show is good?
You gotta watch it, man, and come back and tell us. You gotta go watch it, come back and tell us. We did reactions over all the wonderful Marvel content, man, so it's up for you to decide. But one thing that I will say, and you can keep it playing, the two like, everybody's excited about the Thor trailer and all this stuff and want to see it. But the two trailers I'm most interested in seeing and want to know what the hell is going on is, we already said one, the Marvels. Like, I just need to see that trailer and just
understand it.
Like, what's going on here? Because it was supposed to be Captain Marvel 2, now it's the Marvels, and you know, so what the hell is going on? And the second trailer, can you guess, like, what? I want to know what the hell is going on.
Oh, like that hasn't come out yet?
Yeah.
I can't think of Black Panther.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I was like, I can't think of
Definitely.
Black Panther.
Like, I don't care. Like, whether it's Guardians of the Galaxy 3, whether it's, you know, just anything else that's kind of soon coming down the pipeline, I need to know what the hell is going on with Black Panther.
think the world wants to know.
That's what the world wants to see that trailer and know, okay, where are y'all going? You know, like Thor is cool, Guardians of the Galaxy is cool, Blade, new Marvel properties, new shows, She-Hulk, great, cool. But no, I need to see what the hell is going on in Wakanda.
You think it'll break the internet when the Black Panther trailer finally drops?
I think so.
Because I feel like
just because of the situation.
Yeah,
the situation.
Sadly.
Yeah.
I hope it's an amazing one at least, so that, you know, it's in Chadwick's honor that it does so well.
Yeah.
I hope so. Speaking of trailers, John asked, did y'all see that glowing person in the trailer for Doctor Strange?
Yeah, it's supposed to be, I guess, Captain Marvel variant or a Superior Iron Man or something like that. But
really?
Like I said, man, you can't trust Marvel. Sorry, you can't trust Marvel. They might have thrown, like, I feel like they're showing it too much in the trailers now, so I think they're gonna throw us off. They're gonna throw us off
a lot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're finna throw us off, man. Just like with Spider-Man, like they digitally altered certain things, you know, and had us fooled.
For the purpose of throwing us off, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, and I love it. Keep trying to throw us off. You know, y'all got the money to shoot extra scenes and don't even put them in the movie. Fuck it.
Right.
You know, I'm loving it. So.
Just out of curiosity, I just saw this on the scene. What do you think that blurred figure is?
Where?
To the right of that, or in between these two dudes at the end. See it?
Oh yeah.
I just happened to.
I don't know.
I don't know if it
We're
was
at
something
30 minutes inside the second episode. Some blurry figure showed up. But yeah, we're still on the scene where they're just having that conversation, and you just see like the tone change and just like the vibe. Like, you see this?
Yeah, it's a cane.
You know, he was like.
Steven is just so, like, not clueless, but almost like, okay, dude, I don't know what's going on. You're asking me these things in this, like, cryptic way. I don't know. Yeah. That's a cane to me. I love that. His character is just perfect for this. When
everybody started backing up, like, that was, like, some shit. I was like, damn, everybody was just chilling, and it was all cool. And this motherfucker was like, cane up. Everybody was like, oh, shit. So it's like,
right.
To me, like, the whole dynamic changed, right? Because when you first seen like him walking into the village, everybody was like calm and happy, like just doing fun stuff. But then when this motherfucker pulled up the staff, everybody was like kind of like, oh shit. So it kind of like changed my perspective on like what's going on, like, because at first like I thought it was just like it was a community of everybody like believing in like, you know, just
that's
what
on
he
the
was
face
saying,
of it, apparently.
You know, and yeah, but in reality these people are scared for their life, and like
I was gonna say, do you think they're being like controlled or they're out of fear?
Oh yeah, they don't want to be judged. That's the scariest thing.
Or have they been judged? And they were good.
Yeah, and he has to keep judging them every year to renew to renew the membership. Yeah, subscription.
Your subscription of judgment.
Yeah,
damn.
renew it every month.
That would suck.
Oh my! What to wonder every month if you're gonna get your soul taken or not?
Yes.
If you're good enough.
Do I live again for another month?
Oh my god!
Damn.
It's like a Costco membership with your soul.
Damn. Best funny. Membership of your life?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we're at the scene right now where she's just kicking ass. She just destroyed this fool.
That man.
I've never seen somebody just get destroyed like this in the MCU, like with no powers, like just straight, just get your ass just whooped. Like
you did, Kate.
Yeah.
Your girl Kate. She tried to whoop some ass. This girl whooped better ass than Kate.
Yeah.
And Kate was an archer.
And Kate was an archer and did karate when she was 5.
Right.
Yeah, Kate, we get it.
Mm-hmm. So this answered your question, by the way, of whether or not Ethan Hawke summoned the jackal. He did it there. So he did it in the museum. That's how he does it. That's just interesting.
So do you think he's summoning the jackals to kill him? Or
Yeah.
do you think he's summoning them to get
both?
The spear, or because
if
he kills him, the scarab. Because if he kills him, he doesn't know where the scarab is.
You're not wrong. That's true. Well, if he knows Layla had the scarab now. One of these two has him now. Now he doesn't care if he kills him.
Yeah, he's just like, all right, cool, you done.
Give me the damn thing. Well, I think he's known he had it the whole time. You kill him, you just pluck it right off his body. You know.
Well, she had it.
She did, but he didn't know that.
Oh yeah. You're right.
But now he knows they both have it together. Either one of them's gonna have it, so.
Yeah.
But I wonder can the jackal do anything to her? Well, no, it did, because in the street, it was messing with those people.
Yeah.
So, that's interesting that they can't see it, but it can still harm them.
You know what? Maybe what if here's a wild theory, right? What if the jackal is like just in a different dimension that we can't see with our eyes, but unless you're like connected with like a god or just whatever. Like what if the jackal is like some kind of like, you know, like smaller god or something like that, like a demon, right? What if he's like a demon from a different dimension and you just can't see him unless you have like, you know, God, you know, just the whole Khonshu and, you know.
I forget what jackals meant in like in ancient Egyptian culture. I think they used to roam like the graveyards and stuff. I don't know if they protect the spirits or they protect like evil from coming into the graveyard, something like that. But I lost my thought.
Could you imagine if you seen a real life jackal?
Just get the shit out of me.
That's like a big ass werewolf that walks.
It's huge too, and I think these are dead too.
Yeah, it's like a big ass like fox vampire like hybrid. That's what I think. Yeah, like when I think of a
Foxy
jackal.
Morbius. That's what you think.
Yeah, like a fox / like wolf like hybrid that walks with, you know, sphinx on his head or something. You know, that's what I think about when I think of jackals.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I couldn't imagine getting chased by a jackal.
Oh hell no.
Like that, but they're to me they're cool. They look cool, but would I want to see a jackal in real life? Hell no. You know, what do you do?
Run and hope.
Oh my god.
What do you think about him jumping out the window and landing his Moon Knight the way that he did? How cool was that shot?
I think that was really dope. And it answers some questions for me because before watching this episode, like they were obviously showing like him in the suit. You know, and I was like just wondering about like, you know, what is this a new character? Like what's the thing? But like it kind of showed like he's in control of I guess the Moon Knight character in a way too, Steven. Like because as he was falling, he just said suit, and based on what he said, he transformed into, you know, just whatever costume.
Yeah, because she was like summon the suit, and that's the title of this episode, obviously.
Yeah.
But I think he's learning, like, oh shit, I can do this too.
Yeah.
Like, I don't always need Mark to protect me. I can do this.
Because even Mark, he was like,
what are you wearing?
Or what is this?
What did he say?
Yeah.
That was cool too, by the way, where he falls over, because then you realize like, oh shit, it is still Steven.
Yeah.
It's not Mark.
Clumsy as hell.
Right? And he's like, what the hell am I wearing?
Yeah.
Again, the reflection scene, like it's just, I love the way that they did that in this.
They did a really great job.
What the hell are we wearing?
What the hell are we wearing? Yeah.
Psycho Colonel Sanders. That was like, oh my god. It's a good one.
That's what I'm saying. Oscar Isaac did a really great job. Really great job. Man. Just acting against himself, being funny, pulling out the, what was it, the one nunchucks, but whatever.
He's like, what are these poles?
I don't even think he used those poles in that suit at all.
Nope.
The suit is fire too, I'm not gonna lie. The suit is clean as hell.
Psycho Colonel Sanders, you're a fan?
Yeah, I'm a fan of Psycho Colonel Sanders suit. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh man.
But it was just funny just seeing the scene of Steven as the Moon Knight. You know, even him just like, come on. You know, like what, like that was.
And he's got the super straight. So is he like an in-between here? Or is it because of the suit? And it's like, is the suit Khonshu's and that's why it's special and he could be super strong and do all that? Or is it semi-Mark, semi-Steven, both can control it? Like that part I want to know more about.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was a cool intro to it because, I mean, the way he's acting for this whole scene where this jackal's attacking him, but no one else knows that but him.
Yeah.
They just both, like the way it was shot, it was just so well because the jackal's like messing with him and then it picks up Layla, but you don't see the jackal. So it's just, the effects. This was just really cool. It's a small scene, but it's really, really cool.
Yeah, it was a real insightful scene as well because like you're looking at the battle and you're like trying to figure stuff out at the same time. You're like, huh?
Yeah.
Like what's going on?
100%.
Nah, I really love this scene.
John made a good point. He said Marvel should have a place like a museum, like where all their creatures are real size, just to see. That'd be cool. I would walk through that.
The Marvel Museum.
Yes. How is that not a thing?
Marvel, get on it. You gotta get on it, Marvel. Like, they gotta have a museum of just random, just characters, real statues, and just little facts or whatever. Like I would pay to see that. I ain't gonna lie.
That would be cool. What do you think about the way they made the jackal? Like, was it scary?
He called him an ugly coyote. That was hilarious. That was hilarious.
The coyote has some damn hair and like big old like rabbit ears. He dances. Oh my god.
That scene was hilarious to me, man. Float like a butterfly.
Sting like a bee.
My name is Steven with a B. That was hilarious. I'm like, that's what sold me this episode. When I seen that, I'm like, golden.
Because is that not real? Is that not how somebody might actually react?
Like pump himself up, like, all right.
Like, okay, I can actually do this.
Well,
like, and that's just his personality. I don't know. They did such a good job with this.
Because I asked you about the jackal trying to kill him earlier, right? To me, I don't think the jackal's trying to kill him. Because he had his chance. It looks like he's trying to, like, rough him up, like
find the damn scarab.
Yeah, because like at one point we see the jackal just choking him.
He might be trying to bring him back or bring his body back.
Yeah, like I feel like just at any point the jackal, if he really wanted to kill him, he could have like just tried to stab him. But you see him just throwing him around, choking him. Just like
Yeah.
So like for me, I'm really wondering like what's really going on.
Yeah, me too. Again, another scene of him talking to himself at the bus window, and I don't know. I'm just all for this show.
Yeah, it took him forever to finally surrender to Mark, and then we seen that later. Mark was like, "Motherfucker, like, you waited this long. Now your ass is gonna stay inside, bro."
Yep.
Like he was like, "You've been holding me back for 2 damn days. Your ass staying for 2 months.
You almost got me killed again. You almost got Layla killed again."
He's like, "Nah, bro, stay your ass inside. I'm taking over, bro.
Listen to me."
Like that was crazy. That was an interesting thing to see.
John said that jackal looked like something from Scooby-Doo. That's a good description.
He really did.
Like a real life Scooby-Doo character.
He definitely did.
And how cool was the slow-mo running on the roof with the damn jackal?
The slow-mo rooftop scene was really, really great.
Like all of this, the way it was shot just looks out of a movie. Like this looks so much more crisp and clean and clear compared to Morbius.
Oh my god.
Morbius wasn't that bad. Yeah, it was some CGI issues, but it just was fuzzy to me too.
Yeah.
It wasn't clear in some shots. And maybe that was intentional, but I just love the way this was shot, the cool scenes that it has. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Really great episode.
And
really
then the way he kills the jackal.
Ooh, just throwing him on top. Ugh. See, you seen this part in the trailer, but you didn't see this.
No. This is like some adult Scooby-Doo shit.
Yeah. Like they showed that. They showed this in the trailer, but they didn't show like all the extra stuff. That's why I said Marvel is like really like cunning with these trailers, man. They show us certain stuff, but they hide the juicy stuff, and like you gotta applaud them for it.
Oh yeah.
Definitely gotta applaud them for it. Yeah, I don't think the jackal's trying to kill him. Like I think that was the whole point of what the jackal was doing. They were trying to get the scarab away from. Like they were trying to rough him up and like just get it away from him.
Yeah, and he ends up dropping it. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Cause like he had so much time to kill him and just do all this other stuff. I think he was really just trying to make him like lose it. Like I think he was literally trying to chase him down and like make him lose it by fall.
Well, and it's interesting because you're like, oh my god, really? He just drops it? But then it brings you to this scene where now you get to see Arthur as a real bad guy because this man didn't get judged.
Hell no. He's like, give me that shit, bro.
Yeah, and give me your soul while you're at it.
Yeah.
I'll give you food and shelter. Sure. And how shitty is that? Yeah, because now you're like, wow, this Arthur guy that I really liked, I would have sat and had some lentil soup with him, but now you're like,
give me that damn scarab, bro, and your soul.
Mm-hmm.
Since you're taking too long to give it to me.
Right?
You just took that shit.
Ugh.
And this scene to me, I ain't gonna lie, we're watching the end scene where just Mark and Steven just talking to each other, and Steven's like, so this is what it's like, being trapped. And like we finally see Mark for the real first time as like his like physical like self.
Well, on his own, taking a moment to breathe. He's not in the middle of some shit that Steven got him into.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was a really like, it was a deep moment. Like you actually get to see him and he's like, man, how long have you been doing this? You're just in here. Like it's flipped. Steven gets to feel like what it's like to be trapped inside his head.
Yeah.
It's just like, man, this is scary. How do you do this? Can I have my body back?
Yeah.
And he's like, you just get used to it. And it's like, damn.
That's crazy. That's why to me, like this episode was a super step up from the first one. The first one was great, but like they did everything great. Like just building up on what they did prior in the first episode. What I do want to know in episode 3 though, like episode 3, I'm praying episode 3 comes out and we get an explanation of like what can he actually do. Like what is the Moon Knight's actual powers? Like can he get shot? You know, we obviously know it's some kind of super strength, but I'm hoping we get a kind of like explain on like what, you know, what can he do?
I think Khonshu in this one alludes to it when he says, "I'll do everything I can in my power to protect you." So I think he summons the suits and all of that whenever Mark or Steven, you know, call for it. But I think whenever we find like the backstory, or whenever we get to that episode, which I think will be episode 3, they'll finally explain that a little bit more. And like you said, I hope they do a good job with that.
Yeah.
Historically, not all Hawkeye, but most of the episode 3s have been, is it 3 or 4 that have been really, really good? Like when
4.
Was it 4s? Okay.
4, yeah.
Well, maybe 3. You know, we'll push into the 4, allude into it.
Yeah.
John agreed with us earlier. He said that was messed up. That man looked homeless. And he was.
He was, man.
It was so sad. Ugh. He said that guy found the scarab is the definition of wrong place, wrong time.
Man, for real. This man just walked up and was like, "Oh, what's this?"
No, that's pretty.
Ethan was like, "It's mine, and your soul too." Like, bro, like that's like that was like
That was some swiper no swiping shit. He swiped the damn scarab and swiped his soul
he's like, "I'm glad you found this for me."
in one swoop.
Yeah.
Like, damn.
Glad you found this for me, homie. Now give me that soul too while you're at it.
Right?
It's kind of messed up, bro.
I haven't asked you this. What do you think of the Khonshu character?
I kind of feel like they're kind of trying to make him seem like an asshole, but I kind of want to know more. Because I feel like even Ethan Hawke said he's the least respected god, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm wondering in like the god, like, you know, in the god tiers, is that the case? Like,
Yeah.
do all the gods look at him as like, man, you ain't, you know?
I want to know.
So I'm wondering, like, is he even like just you know, like what's his backstory? Like, does he want to take over Mark's body to like prove that he's like the strongest god? You know? Because right now it seems like he's doing it for his own motives, you know, and he don't really care.
Well, Khonshu, the way they explained it in the beginning, Khonshu is there to protect those who need it when they need it. Whereas Amit wants to judge them before, or wants to judge those who are going to harm those. So I think Khonshu, I think he's only there because Amit's out in the world.
Really?
If Amit gets taken out, he doesn't necessarily need to be there, right? In theory.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see how they explain that part of it, but what do you think of his character?
I don't know enough yet. I don't know.
That's a good answer.
I feel like, I feel like everything is happening for a reason. And I want to see the deal that they made, because like I can't really judge his character until I know more. You know, so I want to know like what was the deal that they made? Like, what's Khonshu's like, you know, backstory? Like why is he doing the stuff that he's doing? You know, because I don't think he's a bad like evil god.
No,
you know?
yeah.
I think he's just like he wants things his way, because like he's a god, you know. So it's like he doesn't really listen to like mortals, you know. Like he's really just using his body for what he wants.
True.
You know, so it's like.
Well, and it's interesting because I'm rewatching it. He says, you said he wouldn't get in the way. So that means Mark was first. Mark was the one who died. Mark was the one who Khonshu took over, you know, his avatar. And he, at that time, when that deal was made, he had to have promised that, you know, this Stephen Grant guy wouldn't get in the way. I wonder if at the time when all that happened, I wonder if all along Mark Spector has had this sleep disorder. Or maybe Steven, I don't know. One of them, whoever it started with, has had this sleep disorder and has these multiple personalities. And Khonshu somehow knew that, or somehow that plays a role in it, because he obviously, Mark had to promise that Steven wouldn't get in the way. That's what he said. And he's like, I'll handle it. And he's like, you already can't, type of thing. So, I don't know. That's going to be interesting to see how that plays out.
That is going to be interesting moving forward. There's a lot of dynamics going on for this show. Like,
Yeah.
You know, it's like, not only is Mark confused about the relationship with himself, like he's confused about the relationship with his wife, you know, Khonshu, you know, so it's like, it's a lot of unraveling. And like, this was like one of my favorite scenes, just seeing Mark just like.
Is it Mark?
Yeah, it's Mark. You can definitely tell it's Mark, because he said that he was keeping Steven in. Like, and he wasn't going back.
Oh, you're right.
And this seems just like more of a Mark, you know. He's like, you know, he looks like a mercenary here.
Yeah, he's not dealing with the shit, is what he looks like.
Yeah, he's drinking, you know, he's just like, fuck, you know. So like that, I really like this scene because it showed like okay, for episode 3, we're gonna see like Mark's perspective, you know, and Steven's gonna be on the inside. Cause so far we've been seeing Steven on the outside and Mark on the inside.
That's true.
So when they ended on that note, I was like, man, y'all got a good ass show on y'all hands, man. Good job.
John said he really thought he was gonna let him in for some food and water. Arthur Harrow, he was messed up.
Yeah, man.
He said when he steals their soul, it looks like Wanda's hand when her powers are being taken by Agatha. So it's like, you think it's dark magic? Well, it can't be well, I don't know. Egypt didn't really deal with magic necessarily. But it was interesting that his power is purple. That's similar to, Wanda's was red, but Agatha's was purple.
Yeah, purple, yeah.
And even in Spider-Man, like when the multiverse broke, it was purple.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's a thing. Like, I mean, Marvel's been colorizing everything, color coding everything. So it's going to be interesting to see, like, I kind of want to know the backstory of like where their powers are derived.
Yeah.
You know?
That's gonna be an interesting backstory. Just like how you asked that, like, just because this is a whole different realm that Marvel's going in, just like with Egypt and gods and stuff like that. So I'm even wondering, like, myself, like, how are they gonna connect this to, like, you know, the magic that Doctor Strange used, like the witchcraft that, you know, Wanda practices, you know, because like. It's like when you tackle different stories and like different realms, like how do you connect it all? And how do you say like, okay, this is more powerful than this, and this is, you know, like where's the power skill?
Yeah, that is true.
That's something that Marvel's gonna have to address in the future. Like I said, I love this show overall. Love it just for what it's given us as a show. My biggest concern is just the overall, just MCU as a whole. Like, where does this fit? Because like. This is great. Like, I have no complaints about the show so far.
Right.
Like, my complaint is where does it fit? You know.
Yeah.
I'm all about the big like overarching thing. So.
And it can't be a standalone. They've never had. I mean, unless they want it to be, but I don't think that would be their intent.
Yeah.
It's especially. I mean, I guess if the show would have bombed, they could have been like, well, it was a standalone. It's like Morbius.
Yeah.
But it's doing amazing, and so now I'm hoping that they've planned to fit it in somewhere.
I mean, knowing Marvel and Kevin Feige, you don't come out with a show unless it's in the continuity of the MCU, especially at this point, because everybody's still trying to figure out what's going on with the Avengers. Everybody's still trying to figure out like what's really going on. So it's like I really love the show for like what it is. It's just for me, I need that post credit at the end that kind of lets me know, okay, where does this lie?
Where does it fit?
When did this take place? You know?
Yeah.
Like, that's what we need to do, Marvel. Give us timestamps.
Mm-hmm.
Please, give us timestamps when and where. And I'm really hoping Doctor Strange solves this issue. You know, in Spider-Man, they didn't really solve it as far as saying where we were at.
Talking about the multiverse issue?
Just where we were in the MCU. You know, because, we know Spider-Man was running from Mysterio and stuff like that, but I don't know if they did a good enough job at explaining, like, where we are.
Yeah.
Like, currently. Like, you went to go visit Doctor Strange and he, like, solved your problem, but, like, it's where we at, you know?
It's true.
So, and now Spider-Man is just a nobody, so, like, where this fool at? You know, like,
right?
Like, it's like, I mean, it's just more just stuff that keeps adding on. And, like, just for me, for the last year or so, I've been wanting things answered in an actual show. Like, fortunately enough, we watch Emergency Awesome. Shout out to Emergency Awesome. And we catch up just with certain stuff that goes on. But it's like, I honestly feel like if you're not really watching the MCU like that, you can get lost and, like, wonder, like, wait, so this is related to this?
There's still times where I'm asking you things and you're like, yeah, remember when, you know, this and this and this movie? And I'm like, oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, and we watch it a lot. We watch all of them, you know?
Yeah. Like, I really wish they could have did a thing. Like, this would have saved Marvel, like, a long-ass time ago. Like, before they even, like, started production on any of the shows.
Do a timeline?
Yes. Just have a date and a time. Just literally on, like, the side. Date and time. December 21st, 2000, you know, that's literally all they have to do. You don't have to say no words.
Add them now.
Yeah, like, You don't have to say this takes place. Like, you don't need an extra scene where they're talking about, like, just date and time.
Or continue to have Luis Guzman. Or no, not Luis. What is his name? Michael Pena. Sorry.
Yeah.
Mike, whatever. Yeah. Continue to have him explain it.
Yeah, and according to, reports, he's wrote out a script for the
I know,
next
for
Ant-Man,
Ant-Man. I loved him in that.
So, yeah. I'm gonna ask this last question before we get into the last main question.
Before you do, John has a question. He said, could that evil guy possibly have different personalities? He could be chill one moment and snap the next.
He could.
Which evil guy? Arthur?
Ethan Hawke.
Arthur.
Yeah. I wouldn't put it past him. That he has different, and that's how he understands Mark.
I wonder if that's a thing. Like, I wonder if Khonshu and Amit and gods like that go after people who have that type of disorder.
So they don't. Yeah.
So it's easier to take over. Like, it has the disorder and they have like a high moral compass. It sounds like Ethan Hawke may have it one time and it's kind of gone to his head. But Khonshu,
he knows a lot.
Yeah, and he said it too. He's like, Khonshu wants somebody with high moral characters. I don't know who said that. I don't know if it was Arthur or somebody in the show. But Khonshu wants somebody with high morals, and that's why he'd go after Layla next. So, I mean, he went after Arthur, according to Arthur, at one time. So, I mean, I guess, I don't know. I don't know if Arthur,
That's a good
observation. Yeah.
That was a great observation.
It happens every once in a while.
Yeah. You got a few.
Yeah, so that's interesting. What were you going to ask? What question?
That was such a good question.
I know, I'm so
forgot.
sorry. You said I'm going to ask one last question. About Arthur, about...
No. Okay, yeah. So this is the question. And this doesn't directly tie to this show and just in general. But do you think Marvel is throwing us off with who the big bad is as well?
Overall?
Yeah.
Like Kang?
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, it has to be Kang or it has to be, what's his name in Eternals? Arishem. It has to be. I mean, who else?
I think they're throwing us off.
Really?
I'm gonna make a guarantee, and I'm gonna make like a
Charles
prediction,
Barkley
right?
guarantee?
If Kang isn't in Multiverse of Madness in some kind of aspect or just any reference, then he's not the big villain. I don't think in MCU.
So he doesn't even have to appear. It just has to be, his name has to be mentioned?
Just his name, or just something that shows us like, because this is a multiverse story.
Yeah.
And Kang the TVA is the ruler of all the timelines, right?
He explained the multiverse. That's true.
If nothing TVA, Kang, Loki is not related in this movie, I don't know if Kang is the big bad. Because for one, they introduced Kang in the TV show.
True.
And in any of the movies that we've seen so far, no reference of.
Technically, all that happened in that show happened upstairs. It happened in space.
Yeah, but with Marvel, here's the thing. Marvel knows people are watching their movies. They're kind of, I don't want to say they're hoping people watch their shows, but Marvel knows that the main audience watches the movies, right? Mm-hmm. So if you're the main audience watching the movies right now, you don't know shit about Kang at all.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Because he hasn't showed up in any of the movies. So the Multiverse of Madness, the ending, whoever the tease is really gonna show me who's the real big bad, because Marvel knows that this is probably one of the biggest movies for them of the year.
Yeah.
And they have to kind of tease who's like, the big person.
So you think they're throwing it all off with like evil Doctor Strange and maybe even Wanda? Like, you think it's gonna be that? It does make sense, actually.
Because anybody that hasn't watched the shows and have just been watching the MCU movies, they don't know who Kang is. True. So if we don't get an introduction to Kang or something alluding to Kang in Multiverse of Madness, one of the biggest movies of the year, where you're literally talking about the multiverse and stuff going crazy, I don't know if Kang is the person we need to be worried about. So
interesting.
And we know he's gonna be in Ant-Man Quantumania. Like, yeah, we know that, but it's like that's all the way next year, And we've already had movies. We had Eternals come out. We've had Black Widow. Yeah. We had Black Widow come out. What else is coming out? Shang-Chi. Even in Shang-Chi, we got a teaser of a big bad. Remember when they said that his ring's activated to somebody on the other side for the first time, and they were calling somebody?
You think that could be King?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think it would be like. I don't think it would be King, because the story with Kang is he knows everything. He's seen it all.
That's
so
true.
He just literally went back to a time, like he's literally from the future. So he went back in time to dominate and just be over everything.
And keep everything in like a sacred timeline. That's the whole point of that. That's true.
Yeah. So in Multiverse of Madness, if we don't get a Kang reference, I don't know if Kang's a big bad.
John said the TVA is still plotting.
They still pruning.
It's probably, what's her name? I can't think of her name. Mobius's girlfriend. His boss.
I forgot. Judge. I forgot her name.
Help me out, John.
Help us out, John.
I know you know her name.
But even that, like, I think this year the MCU has to piggyback on the shows. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Do they have to like? This year, I feel like all the MCU movies need to piggyback on the shows from last year.
All the MC movies. Yes. They have to. I mean, otherwise, why? Just to explain stuff?
Like Loki, I'll give them a pass because they got a season 2 and they can do whatever they want in the season 2. But any show like Falcon and Winter Soldier, right? Like I feel like this year we got to get something Captain America related.
Renslayer. Yes.
Renslayer. Judge.
Thank you, John.
Man, John. I think we gotta see Judge Renslayer though. I think we gotta see her in a movie somewhere.
Renslayer?
Sorry, I got what if she's in Multiverse of Madness?
Who, Renslayer?
Yeah.
That'd be some shit. Can you imagine?
She did go back and she left and went somewhere and we don't know where she went.
That would be interesting. I mean, she should for sure be in Quantumania. But that would be some interest. Like, what if she just appears and is like, oh my god, like tells everybody what's going, or will tell everybody what's going on up there? Cause
she didn't even know she was a variant.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't know. That's why, like, with this story, man, they gotta pay it off. Like, cause to me, honestly, since we watched Loki, I've been like, kind of like just wondering, like, okay, so like,
now what? Yeah,
I'm like, yeah, the show that we're watching now is cool and all, but Loki just happened. So like, how does it, and that's me, I always think too much into, just the MCU and stuff like that. But I just feel like this year Marvel has to address like some of the show's answers. So like, for instance, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, right? Mm-hmm. Let's put Bucky in that movie.
He almost has to be the
Let's
White Wolf.
put Bucky in that movie and like just answer some questions for Falcon and Winter Soldier. Just show some continuity,
Yeah.
Just do it. Just like with WandaVision is connected with Doctor Strange, great. Like moving forward, let's keep putting these movie characters.
I think they will.
Or the show characters with the movies, so we can kind of piggyback off stuff versus just coming out with a new show, introducing something new, and then we got a whole different movie that's about something completely different.
Well, it's interesting that you say that. So John said, wherever they're holding Strange, it reminds him of Loki because they can't use magic. And they explained something about the TVA in Multiverse of Madness. Something about the tech they use is handcuffs. That's
really
interesting. Could he go up to where Loki was? I mean, if it's a place where he can't use magic,
Yeah.
So maybe you're right. They will tie in Loki somehow, or Kang.
Yeah. Because, man, like, the stuff that they presented in Loki was some deep shit. Like, the Infinity Stones didn't work up there. Mm-hmm. So, like...
And as a Marvel person that's been watching all these years...
you're like, what the heck? First thing you're thinking, like, why?
That means they could easily, like, arrest Thanos.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, Loki's magic didn't work up there.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's a big thing.
It's huge.
Like, you can't just introduce that and then be like, all right, back down to Earth. This is going on Earth, just regular monsters and, people fighting. Like, no! Why these Infinity Stones don't work? Why magic don't work up here? Like, what's really going on up here? Like, what stuff that y'all got up here that's,
I wonder if they'll end up traveling to that, like, point in time or whatever where the TVA exists through. Remember how he's falling, or like they're falling through like dimensions. They go to the dinosaurs and then their like faces are like coming apart. What if they end
Marvel,
up there?
Please. Shut me up, Marvel. I want you to shut me up.
Mm-hmm.
give me a montage in Multiverse of Madness where they literally just go through shit and we see something from WandaVision. Like we see the how. Well, we're gonna see like some WandaVision stuff.
Yeah.
Look, I want Multiverse of Madness to show me some shit from Falcon and Winter Soldier. Probably not gonna happen. It's probably not.
Yeah.
But wouldn't it be a cool thing if like we could see Doctor Strange just travel through like all these universes? Like he goes like we see something from Eternals.
Oh my god!
Just like some scenery
scenes from each of them.
Yeah,
That'd be
and he's
kinda
like
cool.
falling like Marvel, please.
That would actually be kind of cool.
Like that would be amazing. Like they don't even have to connect anything, but just show me Doctor Strange traveling through. Like show me some real multiverse shit to where he's like going like we see some familiar. Like that would be the biggest Easter egg if Marvel were to put all their Disney Plus TV shows in Multiverse of Madness.
That'd
Like,
be some smart shit.
Like show us The Watcher. The Watcher has to show up in this movie.
Damn, this movie's gonna have everybody. It's only, what'd you say, 2.5 hours long?
Yeah. They say it's one of the shortest movies, actually.
How?
I don't know.
And
Extra
why?
cuts, I don't know why. But that's what I'm saying. I need to see everybody in this movie. Not everybody, but just show me the Watcher. Show me Viz Ultron.
Right.
You know,
oh
like-
yeah, White Vision.
I think there's even a scene where he goes to like just the cartoon realm or whatever.
Yeah.
And they show like Captain Carter, like
Oh,
the
yeah.
shield. So it's like this is their chance.
That is true. John said he's so curious how that world, what that place is. They have Ultron bots as guards, and he did ask earlier, do you think they'll bring in Inhumans or mutants next?
I definitely think they're gonna
A whole council, like a courtroom. He says.
I definitely think they're gonna show us. Well, we already know that Patrick Stewart's gonna be there. He was a Professor X previously in the X-Men movies. We know he's gonna be in the movie. I'm just really curious to see who else is gonna be in the movie because like Marvel is smart. They giving us stuff. Oh, they giving us stuff away that's already been like leaked and reported. But the whole time they like, y'all just wait. Y'all don't even know. Cause they did a great. Well, this wasn't Marvel, but with Spider-Man, they did a great. Like even though everybody knew Spider-Man and not Spider-Man, even though everybody knew Toby and Andrew in the film, they did a great job at hiding the scene, like all that shit.
They did.
They really did. So it's like I know they're hiding some from us. Like all the stuff that we're seeing, I'm telling y'all, it's throwing us off. Don't believe it.
Well, yeah, because the whole time they were probably like filming and editing and stuff for Multiverse of Madness. We're over here looking for the other Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So they probably were able to hide some stuff during that time.
That's what I'm saying. Like the little leaks that we think we have on this movie, I don't think they're nothing compared to like the stuff we're gonna see. You know, so.
And you said what was the runtime? Because John said he heard the movie was going to be close to 2 hours.
Yeah, I think it was a little bit under 2 hours. I say, yeah.
Okay.
So
Damn, that is short.
Yeah. So I mean.
You realize that's almost 2 episodes of what we've seen for Moon Knight, right?
Yeah.
Does that feel like a long enough time to explain Wanda and Strange and Kang and the Watcher? You know, to have everything
I really
in
hope
it.
So, I mean, I think it depends. Well, so what I'm hearing is the movie's gonna pick up like immediately right after Spider-Man.
Really?
So.
And not too long after WandaVision, you know, because they reference it.
If they just jump right into it, then I could, you know. I think they're gonna do a good job. They got Sam Raimi back. You know, he's the one that directed the OG Spider-Man. You know, those were great movies up into the third.
Yep.
But I trust Sam Raimi. And he said he would be open to coming back and making more movies. He really liked it, so sounded like they, you know, had a good experience. But I don't know. I definitely, if I don't see anything like mentioned with Kang, I don't know if he's the big bad. I just don't know. Because yeah, we know he's coming out in Ant-Man Quantumania, but is he just that movie's villain, you know? Or is he
He can't be just that
Thanos?
movie's because he was in Loki. He's crossed on different shows.
Yeah. So that's why I'm trying to like I just don't know if he's the
main big bad.
If we don't see him in Multiverse of Madness. Because this is the first Disney movie of the year. One of the biggest is dealing with multiverse stuff. And you kind of have to set up like what's going on like
in Quantumania.
In the MCU. Like I think people gave him a pass on Eternals, you know, because it was Eternals is like trying to set up the Eternals universe.
Right.
You know. What else came out?
Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi alluded to kind of something, you know.
Yeah,
somebody's out there. So we have to get another like post-credit reference on like, okay, why is all this stuff happening? Like, and to me, if Kang isn't mentioned or we don't even know, it's like.
I was gonna say, would you feel fulfilled if it was Kang in the post-credit?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I could see that happening.
Yeah.
I don't know about in the movie. I think that's way too short.
Yeah,
but...
no, like in the movie, like even in the movie, if they just show like a scene or just like one of his statues or something, that's all they would have to do.
You know what's probably going to be the end credit? I mean, it's a wild guess, but I'm like, shit, if that's right, that's crazy. They go through all those multiverses, you know, the dinosaurs and all of those. And during one of them, Kang's variant comes through. And then that's the post-credit scene. Nobody knows because they're all dealing with Wanda and even evil Doctor Strange and all these other people. And nobody even notices he comes into this universe. Yeah. And you just see him like, huh.
And smile.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And it's Jonathan Majors, like,
yeah.
You know?
That would be a great post-credit scene because nobody knows him except for Loki.
Yep.
So what if he just showed up to the Avengers or just anybody? He's like, hey, I'm Kang, I'm lost. Like
what
that,
year is it? Where are we? Can you imagine?
That would be... Cut the check, Marvel.
You're welcome.
Cut the check.
John said Spider-Man was a 10. He already knows this one's going to be a 10. He's eager to see Wanda's story play out. Me too. I can't wait to see her, like, what happens when she sees, you know, the other version of her living her life with her kids. Like, that's... Yeah. Does she get to see her kids come to life? Does she ever see White Vision in the future? Like, all good questions.
Yeah.
I mean, damn. That has to be traumatic because she didn't know White Vision existed. She never saw him.
Nope.
Can you imagine how she's going to feel seeing him? He has to come out in this movie then at some point.
You think so?
Why not?
He comes back from vacation.
I mean, think about it, because you're dumb, from exploring him, finding himself somewhere else. You got to understand, though, because if he doesn't come out in this movie and she resolves her shit in this movie, like Strange helps her figure out her shit, what's the point of having him come out later? Where?
Yeah.
And why?
Yeah,
would you care?
Where and why?
White Vision has to come out in this for something.
You think so?
Otherwise, why? Why'd you introduce him in WandaVision?
Yeah.
Why do we care if he comes out in something later? This is, like you said, it's almost like the point. Kang has to be the end credit, and White Vision has to somehow come out in this. Otherwise, why? Why do you care?
I would even give Marvel a pass if, like, Doctor Strange is the reason Kang is in this universe.
Say it
like,
again?
they open up the multiverse, blah, blah, and, like, they bring one of the Kangs into the MCU. Because technically...
He's not.
Technically... he's not even really our Kang, but the Kang that was the timekeeper. Yeah. He's gone.
He's the Kang. He's a Kang.
Yeah. So technically he's gone, right? So if a Kang was brought into the MCU, like as a scene, like we see a young, like that would be so great if they if they brought in a young Kang, and like, you know,
that would be
we think. Like, of course we know who he is, but, like, when we first see him, he's like, we think he's good.
Yeah.
You know, and then slowly he works, you know, he works his way to just, you know, be, you know, who he is. You know, like that, because nobody knows who he is, technically.
That's true.
So it's like, he could easily come into the MCU and be like, hey, I'm lost, what time it is? You know?
And just exist among everybody until Quantumania.
Yeah.
Why aren't we working for Marvel?
I'm telling you, Marvel, cut the check, because we just spoiling like everything. But I definitely need to see Kang, some reference of Kang in this movie, even if that's not the post credit. Because can you do a quick search? Mm-hmm. What is the next Marvel movie that comes out after Doctor Strange?
I was gonna say Multiverse of Madness.
No,
be a smartass. No, I know. Shifty said, "What? Moon Knight already came out."
Yeah, bro, you late, bro. We doing the reactions late for a minute, so y'all can catch up and watch them, man. Y'all gotta watch him, man. Y'all gotta watch him. Mm-hmm. Thor. How do we not know that? So Thor comes out after. So do you think? And this is the last thing we're gonna talk about before we cut off, because we gotta cut here soon.
Before you go to that, Shifty's asking me if Morbius is part of the multiverse or the Marvelverse, or no. But technically he is.
Yeah.
He's just a Sony character. so that's why he kind of sucked.
Yeah. Everything is connected.
It's all
you
connected.
know. As of now, everything is connected. And they're honestly they're doing a good job. I'm not gonna lie. Like Marvel and Sony are doing a good job trying to connect everything that they've done like in the past, like in a new way with
They're
new
playing
movies.
in the sandbox nicely.
You know, they're really playing. Yeah, like I said, they're doing really nice. So I think they're gonna try to do that with the Fox characters next. Try to bring everybody in and like, oh yeah, we're all like a part of the
It's all
same thing,
connected.
so you don't have to be confused. So I think they're doing a really good job at that. But like I said, Morbius wasn't that bad.
It really wasn't.
It was decent, but it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, I think it could have been a lot. I think it would have been great if Marvel made it, you know, but it's neither here nor there. What's your last question, or the one that you remembered? Oh, I'm so sorry. I did it again.
Yep.
Oh.
But no,
Sorry.
what I was getting to was that I definitely think I remember. I always remember. I always get it back.
You do.
But maybe that's the reason why we haven't seen the Thor trailer.
Why?
Because maybe something happens in Doctor Strange to where it affects the Thor movie.
So you really think we're not seeing a Thor trailer until after May, whatever it comes out?
They could show the trailer. Honestly, here's the thing. Marvel knows people are gonna go see their movies.
Yeah. No, I don't disagree with that.
So it's like, I feel like Marvel is a business. So it's like, why would you promote something else when this is coming sooner, you know?
You're just saying it for that fact, or you're saying it because something in Multiverse of Madness is going to affect the Thor movie?
That too.
So both?
Yeah, I think honestly, I would be surprised if we got a trailer before the movie Multiverse of Madness comes out.
That's fair.
Like, if we see a Thor trailer in Multiverse of Madness, I will say, okay, it makes sense. But I'm thinking that there's something that happens in Doctor Strange to where, like, even if we were to watch a not a Multiverse of Madness, but a Thor Love and Thunder trailer now, we wouldn't understand. Or we wouldn't, like...
Oh.
Like, I'm thinking something happens.
Interesting.
You know? Because, yeah, I think we're in Thor Love and Thunder, we're dealing with a whole different Jane. She has a hammer, you know? She's gonna be Thor in this movie. Like, we're gonna see a female Thor. So how do they explain that without saying that she's from a different... Like, you know... That's just my logic and my thinking.
Interesting.
And even with the Black Panther stuff, how do they explain Chadwick not being there if, you know, something happened in the multiverse?
They got lucky.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
They got very lucky they're going to be able to explain it that way. I didn't even think of that.
That's what I'm saying. I'm really thinking they're holding everything until Multiverse of Madness comes out. And they're going to, like, say, because of what Doctor Strange and Wanda did, that's why you see all these different variations of people. And there's a lot of stuff going on, so.
That's smart. That's a good
We
point.
shall see.
Shifty said there wasn't enough fight scenes in Morbius for him. There's a lot of shit going on in Morbius.
Yeah, script could
There
have
were
been,
dance scenes. There were...
yeah.
Oh, that was awful. Ugh.
Morbius it was an interesting movie. I'll say it was interesting. I didn't think it was trash. I thought it was interesting.
It was a 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was, to me, it was a good night at the movies.
It was. I wasn't mad.
You know, I wasn't like when after we got done seeing Morbius, I wasn't frustrated. I wasn't like, what the hell?
Why are we here? We just wasted our time. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
I was just like, oh, that was
Cool.
decent, cool. You know, it's
Yeah.
kind of like if somebody just came out with a superhero movie, you wouldn't have seen it, and you were like, you didn't put too much like value into it.
It honestly wasn't that bad if we saw it before Marvel movies.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
That's what it felt like. If we would have watched that as a kid, I would have been like, that was pretty cool.
yeah, because it has some stuff going for it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like I ain't gonna lie, it definitely threw you off at some points because
Yeah.
the trailers were misleading as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, and
100%.
there were some scenes in the movie that caught me off guard, and I'm like, oh shit, like,
What?
where's the laughing part? Like,
Yeah.
and there's none. Like, it's like,
Yeah.
no. Like, no. So, yeah, I mean, it's not that bad. So, definitely go see Morbius. Never thought I would say it, but definitely go see Morbius if you guys haven't yet.
Skip Hawkeye. Go
Don't
see
watch
Morbius.
Hawkeye. Just delete that out of your brain. But also, just before we wrap up, Disney also put up all of the Netflix Marvel shows on Disney Plus. So
They did.
I'm wondering how that's gonna impact things going forward as well. Now that they're kind of officially a part of the MCU. So
Interesting.
there's gonna be some interesting developments. And like they got a lot of properties right now, so I'm just really hoping that they're not getting too far ahead and not like, just
Doing too many things at once.
yeah, because I mean I know there's only so many directors that can direct so many different shows, and then to ask all these directors like, hey, this has to happen, this way, just to have all these people connected and working on separate projects, like
Yeah.
I don't know how Marvel's doing it, but shout out to Kevin Feige and the whole team just giving us this high quality content and just keeping it going.
Right. John said Morbius isn't a must watch for him. It's not. It's if there's nothing else in the theaters, I wouldn't mind going and seeing it, if we hadn't seen it already. I like vampire movies. It's not my favorite. It's not going to blow your socks off. But, it's entertaining.
Yeah, if
It's
you want
not
to go
great.
to the movies and see a movie, go.
Yeah.
If you want to go to the movies and see something before Multiverse of Madness comes out, you can go see Morbius. Like, it wouldn't hurt you. You would, like, I don't know what director or press person had a beef with just the critics.
Dude, it had like a
Because-
15% on Rotten
Yeah, they were
Tomatoes.
slamming the hell out of this
Ooh.
movie, but the audience said it was like a 60 or 70 or
64
something like that.
or something like that.
So it's
Yeah.
like, I don't know what beef, Morbius got into with the critics, but they slammed the hell out of the movie before it came out.
They really did. I think people were just mad Spider-Man shit was removed.
Yeah. I think a lot of Spidey fans got mad, but sorry, you got your Spider-Man, okay?
Yeah.
You got 3 Spider-Man, so shut the hell up. And you're getting one this year, so shut the hell up.
It's funny that you say that. Shifty also said they are making 3 more Spider-Man movies with Tom Holland before he's done.
Yeah, he re-signed, man. My boy Tom re-signed. But Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse or Across the Spider-Verse comes out, I think, in November.
That's exciting.
So, you Spidey fans, man, you guys need to chill out. Like, you gotta
Spidey
get it.
fans are the most spoiled.
Toxic as hell. Like,
Spidey and
you
Superman.
ruin the movie, No Way Home.
Seriously.
Spoil it. You complain about what you get, and then you got another movie on the way in this next year. Like, get the hell out of here, man. Like, stop being little babies. Like, just enjoy the moment and what we have, because I know everybody loves him and thinks his movies was good, but they were trash. The Amazing Spider-Mans were trash.
Andrew Garfield.
Like, you Spider-Man fans are so delusional. But I get that you love Andrew Garfield, and we love him too. We loved him in the newer Spider-Man.
Yeah, I was like, I loved him in that movie.
We loved him in the newer Spider-Man, but his Spider-Man movies were trash.
Yeah.
But y'all want to find problems with everything else. Like, no. Like, stop it. So that's why I don't want to hear these Spider-Man fans when they just talk about anything. Because I'm like, you guys love the Amazing Spider-Man. Okay. Like, don't even talk to me.
I tried to like, the Amazing Spider-Mans. They weren't bad. And then it got to Rhino and I was just like, are you kidding?
I think just watching the first Spider-Mans and then watching the second ones, you're like, it's just a turn off for me.
Yeah, it's 2 different generations.
Yeah.
And it's just 2 different kinds of movies. Like the first Spider-Man, the second Spider-Man, amazing. The third one was god awful.
Yeah.
I was not a fan. But the first 2 were classic. They were just good. And the other, like the Andrew Garfield ones, I was like, it didn't appeal to me. Different generation.
Yeah.
2 different generations,
Yeah.
And now a third generation is liking the Tom Holland. And I like the Tom Holland one, those.
I like him. Yeah.
But he was introduced was he introduced
Civil
to that was his first, and then he got his movies.
Yep.
So we got a chance to like him separately from the movies,
Yep.
I don't know, maybe we just didn't give Andrew a shot when those movies were coming out, but I just didn't care.
It's just the scripts for me.
Yeah,
how
the
everything
writing
went
was
down.
dumb.
Like,
I didn't like
it
Jamie
just-
Foxx's Electro character.
Yeah, no.
I loved him in
Loved them.
this one.
Loved them.
Yeah.
Loved them.
So
Like, I even loved Andrew Garfield in this movie. Like, I really loved Andrew Garfield in No Way Home.
yeah, I did too.
In his movies, no, I didn't.
Yeah.
Like, even as Spider-Man, I didn't love him.
Mm-hmm.
So,
John says he's an Avenger fan. He wants to see the next Earth's Mightiest Heroes team. I mean, at some point they have to assemble something, right? I mean, right now everybody's just kind of in turmoil, but how long do you think it'll be before I see another Avengers team up?
I don't know, man. To be honest. I think we kind of have to not look for any Avengers for a minute, to be honest.
Don't expect it for a while.
Yeah, just because everybody is like scattered out. And I just feel like everybody is being scattered out more and more. Cause like, let's look at Spider-Man. What just happened to Spider-Man? Nobody knows who Spider-Man is. Spider-Man wasn't an Avenger. How do you make another Avengers movie without Spider-Man?
I want to know, like, I get that nobody knows who he is, but you see news clips, you see news articles. Do those just disappear?
Do the photos in your phone just delete from the cloud?
Exactly.
Like,
exactly my point.
there's magic in technology, like
any like social media people captured of him and posted, like, do those just delete? Facebook wouldn't let that shit happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Is Mysterio in his grave? Like, no, hell no.
Right? I know who that fool
I
is.
fucking recorded that shit. Hell no.
Right?
You know, so, cause like, honestly, that's why with the Spider-Man, like, my Spider fans, they kind of like miss over some of these plot holes. Because like, even on Spider-Man Far From Home, like, we seen at the end, like, when Mysterio was playing that message saying, like, this is Spider-Man. Like, Spider-Man's Peter Parker. Mm-hmm. We seen at the end somebody take, like, a USB drive, you know, that put that video out and just, like, walk off, you know.
Oh.
So, is that footage deleted now?
I forgot about that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, does that like, whoever was behind the whole Mysterio, like, helping him out, like, is their footage deleted? Like the person that like aired them out.
Sony's like, we don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, we don't know people. You know
who?
Like they'd be like, look, Doctor Strange cast a spell and we don't know what the hell happened. So yeah. Just wait for our next movie. We'll try to explain it all.
Right.
But,
John said Electro was his favorite character. I did love Electro in No Way Home.
Electro was funny as hell. Man, shout out to all the villains, man.
Yes.
Especially William Dafoe.
Oh,
William Dafoe.
killed it.
Classic.
Killed it.
Like, didn't look like he missed a beat being a goblin, man.
And he wanted to do his own, like, fight scenes and stuff. That was so cool.
So honorable. So honorable. Loved it. Yeah, man. It's been a while. I don't know if you guys missed the last stream. For all the viewers that missed the last stream,
it was late.
Yeah, it was late. We stayed up and we did the reaction right after that episode. But for those of you that don't know, we've decided to move the reactions to the day after. Well, technically we're doing them the day the show premieres. And just later in the evenings as well, because we want to give everybody a chance to just be able to watch the shows, you know.
People work, people go to school.
Yeah, people aren't as fortunate as us to stay up and watch Marvel shows and, you know, digest them. You know, like, people have lives. We get that. You know, we get that. So, you know, we adjusted our schedule, you know, to try our best to fit, you know, the time where people can be able to sit down, relax, and watch the show, and you know, just come back here and just talk about all things Marvel, you know. So we're gonna keep rocking. We're gonna keep doing the streams once a week every Wednesday, and then following the end of Moon Knight episode 6, I believe Hawkeye. No. God damn it! Get that out of my brain
We're gonna
right
rewatch Hawkeye?
No, get that out of my head right now.
I'm so excited.
No, get that out of my. Oh, I don't know why I said that. Multiverse of Madness is coming out, and we're definitely gonna be doing a reaction to that. So, you know, we got a nice little slate coming up this year. Marvel's definitely keeping us busy.
You want to do an out of theater reaction from?
Oh yeah, we're definitely doing.
That'll be your first one.
Yeah, we'll. So, but yeah, man, you guys look forward to the content we got dropping, reaction videos and whatnot, all the live streams, and you know, it feels good to be back. Really feels good to be back. So we'll get to any last chats, and then we will wrap it up for this stream, and then we'll be back next week, of course. And we're gonna keep rocking. But before we exit out, I'm gonna ask what would you give the second episode?
11.
You give it 11. Wow. All right. We're gonna get my reaction, Miss M's reaction. She already gave it an 11 out of 5, so that's great.
Sorry. 6.
So that's great. And you know, I try to always see like both sides of everything. For me, the highlight of the episode, and you guys drop your highlights of the episode in the chat and what you guys rated as well. But the highlight of the episode for me definitely was when he went into, I guess, what was it, the Mr. Knight character.
Dang it, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, that was just like so hilarious, and it was just like random as hell to me. Like, I enjoyed the scene with Ethan Hawke and him sitting down talking, but that scene for me was like, I was like, man, I this show, man, like they're doing a good job. So, and I'm really trying to pick this show apart. I'm trying to find stuff I don't like, but I like it all.
The man floats like a butterfly and stings like a bee. What's not to like?
I really like it all.
Come
I
on
can't
now.
like. Y'all know I try to, like, you know, I try to give a balanced reaction, a balanced review. But I really love everything I'm seeing so far. And there's no complaints for me. So.
Same. I can't find anything to complain about.
Each episode feels, it's like, it's not no 35-minute BS.
Yeah.
Like, it's properly timed. Like, thank you. I feel like Marvel's been watching these streams, like, because we've been asking for, like, at least 50 minutes. At least 45. And, like, I think the first episode was, like, over 40, and this one was, like, 50 minutes. I'm like, man, that's what I'm talking about.
Right? And it doesn't feel like there's wasted time. Yeah, you're right. 47 minutes for the first one, 53 for the
That's
second.
what I'm talking about. Increase that time.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like there's wasted time. It doesn't feel like it's slow. It doesn't feel like things are just carrying on. Like, Hawkeye, I was like, all right, come on, get it over with. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, Hawkeye was just like, bruh, like.
Although John has a great suggestion. I don't think he heard it earlier in the stream, but I fully agree with it, and I think we have to do it. He said you got to rewatch Hawkeye on Christmas.
No. Nah.
I don't know that I want to spend 6 hours of my holiday doing that again.
Nah, I mean, you probably would have to really bribe me at this point to sit back and just watch this show.
I'm cool with you saying no, so I wouldn't bribe you.
Look, you guys know I like to be fair and reasonable on everything. Look, Hawkeye wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. Close. But it wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. Hawkeye had some good moments, but overall the show was a D- for me. So, sorry, John, and to all the viewers, like, asked me to watch Hawkeye again, but I'm sorry, I just can't do that. I can't. Like, no.
Nah.
If they were to drop a season 2, you know what? I would. I ain't gonna lie. I would watch Hawkeye season 2.
We'd have to.
Yeah, I would. Just because it's like.
And they are. It's called Echo.
Yeah.
John's laughing.
Like, I just feel bad. I just feel bad for Echo to be even associated with that. Like, you know, it gives it a bad taste. Like, I don't even want to watch Echo because of what we've seen with Hawkeye. And Echo was probably one of the highlights.
Was the highlight.
You know? So, no. Probably not, John. I'm sorry.
He said, y'all know y'all like Kate and Clint. Stop it. I like Clint. And Kate was Kate. She was cool.
I like Yelena Belova, though.
I liked her character.
That was the best character in the whole show for me.
The two of them together.
Yeah.
Okay, yes. So I do like Kate when she's with Yelena. She has to be with somebody else.
Yes.
Kate on her own can't, I don't think, in other movies and stuff that she does, yes. But in Hawkeye,
no.
She couldn't carry her own scenes.
No.
Or just, I don't know what it was. It just didn't feel like it was the right character fit for her. I don't know.
And I feel like a lot of people feel like they got bamboozled when they watch Hawkeye. Because, like, we watch Hawkeye knowing who Hawkeye is, right?
Correct.
I don't think we expected a show where he was the side character. You know?
100%.
None of us expected that. Like, we wanted Clint first, and then you slide in some Kate. But they started, Kate, this is Kate's story, and Hawkeye and his family.
And it wasn't a strong story.
You know?
I wonder if they were trying to do the whole, like, younger thing. Because, I mean, Haley Steinfeld is younger. We know who she is, but she is towards the younger. But I don't even think the younger people liked this series, unfortunately.
Nobody liked it. Not even Lucky the Pizza Dog.
Oh, he was my favorite part.
Yeah, I don't think anybody liked it, but
he wished he would have gotten a bigger role.
Marvel, I think, is definitely trending to the younger crowd more. Just because of like what you said with the Eternal scene with
Harry Styles.
What's the guy? I didn't even know who. Like when he showed up at the end, I didn't even know who the hell he was.
I know who he is. I didn't
even know who the hell he was. You had to tell me. You like, oh, he's this famous singer. I'm like, what? I'm like, okay, here we go.
But you had heard of the song, right?
Yeah, I heard the
Yeah.
song, but I had no idea that.
I didn't visually know that was
This
him.
was like the route that we were headed.
Right.
Because, like, you made me aware that Haley Steinfeld was a singer.
Yeah,
you know,
before.
previously. So like that made me think like, huh, okay,
Mhm.
right. So we're kind of shifting the characters for the future now, huh?
Mhm.
You know? So, but I mean, it's cool. You know, I like to see everybody get their shot, but yeah, I definitely think Kate, for her to be her show, let's call it a spade a spade. For her to be her show, she couldn't carry it by herself.
What do you think of this? Hear me out. Multiverse of Madness, go through the Hawkeye universe, and another Kate Bishop, a separate Kate Bishop comes out. And that way Marvel doesn't have to say like, ooh, we messed up on that one. But it's okay, here's a new Kate Bishop, or a new Hawkeye. Doesn't even have to be a Kate Bishop. Maybe it's just a new Hawkeye.
I'd rather Doctor Strange just go to the multiverse and just take out Hawkeye.
Oh,
And just like
that's
delete this
blasphemous.
whole
That poor
story.
man deserves to just chill.
I'd rather
I'd rather he retire.
I'd rather Doctor Strange go to Vormir, and when him and Natasha are fighting, he's just like actually,
Doctor Strange and
yeah.
Natasha?
No, Clint and Natasha. Remember where they're fighting on Vormir? And Clint
Natasha's like, psych.
yeah.
Let's the rope
I'd
go.
rather Doctor Strange be like, actually, you come back.
Yep.
And you go.
You got that magic. I can bring her back.
Let's get a Black Widow series instead of the Hawkeye
Shit.
series. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe over time, probably not. I'm trying to get a show the benefit of the doubt, but I mean, there's a reason. Like Loki was driving in Hyundais. Moon Knight is being advertised as like the best show like
Everywhere.
ever. You know, Hawkeye did not get that same kind of treatment, so we know Marvel felt some kind of way about the show too.
They
so
knew.
it's all good. We just calling it for what it is.
Yeah.
So. But any last thoughts before we wrap up this wonderful and amazing stream?
What's your prediction for episode 3?
Season 3, Moon Knight. Oh,
Oh, I'd
alright.
watch it. I'm there for that.
Man. He's definitely gonna fight his sun brother by then.
You're stupid.
Sun twin, Sunday,
Amun-Ra, the sun god.
Sunday,
Sunday.
Moon Knight is Sunday.
You're so...
Sunday is definitely gonna show up.
You're special.
Sunshine.
Sunshine.
But episode 3, definitely think we're gonna get the more and more of the backstory. I kind of want to see some kind of appearance of what is it? Amit. I kind of
Amit.
want to see some kind of like I want to see that kind of ghost. I want to see like something because I know they're gonna show us by the end of the series like
It's gonna be
her
interesting to
finally
see.
manifesting whatever. Like so I want to kind of see like some kind of visual of her. Or I just want to see what's driving him. So. Like I wish we can see the voices in his head, you know. So
Right. I wonder if we'll get an episode like that. I want to know his origin story.
yeah. So episode 3, I don't know if we'll see that, but I'm definitely looking forward to the Egypt of it all.
Yeah.
And I definitely think we're gonna see more of just Mark's story and Steven's story just with Kanju. Like I definitely gonna think we're gonna see more of that. So I'm looking forward to that episode 3.
Yeah. And Troy asked, what was the thing that reappears and disappears in Moon Knight?
Kanju, right?
Is that what he's referring to?
I believe so. I think that's the only thing. Yeah, it has to be Kanju.
So yeah, it's Kanju.
It's one of the gods. Look up. You gotta look up a breakdown. Go. Anybody that's confused, like us, most of the time when we watch these shows, go to Emergency Awesome. He does an amazing job at recapping the shows and just catching you up on like some of the things you might have missed. Heavy spoilers.
That's a good
It's one
one.
of our good guys. Yeah, you guys definitely, you know, after the shows, definitely, you know, do your research because, like, I don't know where I would be. I ain't gonna lie without, you know, some of these YouTubers putting us up on like what's going
Right.
on. So I definitely recommend you guys watching at home, like, you know, watch, you know, what happens next or you know, this explained. It's okay. It's okay. You know, it's you. If you're a super, you know, Marvel fan like us, you want to know it all. So. Don't be afraid to, you know, go do the extra mile, you know,
Yeah.
and come back here in the stream and give it a
Let's
like.
talk
and
about it.
Comment it, yeah. So, but that's gonna be a wrap for today's stream, man. It was a pleasure, you know, making a comeback and having all the viewers and everybody coming chiming in their thoughts about the show and the stream and whatnot. And leave your thoughts any remaining just observations, anything that we didn't catch, whether it's the MCU or Moon Knight, drop it in the comments. We can talk about it there. Join our Discord, link should be in the description, hopefully. I think I put it there. Yeah. Any closing remarks for you, Miss Sam?
I cannot wait for episode 3.
Yeah. Looking forward to it. Episode 3 dropping next week. Marvel keep giving us this great, amazing content. It's been a while. Maybe 3 months too late into the year. Marvel, we don't know what's going on, but we got it now. So hey, we can't complain, right?
Yeah,
can't complain.
I ain't complaining.
Stay positive. Always try to be the best person you can be. You can be what or whoever you want to be in life. Just look at me. All right. We'll catch y'all on the next stream. Make sure y'all hit us with a like. And y'all stay safe and stay positive. All right. Shout out to John. Shout out to Ryback. Shout out to Shifty. Shout out to Prayer. Am I missing anybody that pulled up in the chat? Dropped a comment. Shout out to all the viewers. Shout out to everybody. And we'll keep rocking, man. We appreciate you guys. See you guys next week. This has been another Raw Real Review. And we out. Peace out.